So they chalk time out of their day. You just say, hey, I'm going to be here at noon when Israel told me he'll be here.
Yeah.
So what do you think that does whenever you show up when it's 2 o'clock and you're like, hey, I'm on my way? How do you think that affects?
That's a bad impression already.
Bad,
Yeah,
bitter
'Cause
taste.
Just me, for example, when I was being a property manager, I had the same thing. I'd call contractors saying, I have a plumbing issue, I have X, Y, and Z going on. And I'd make my schedule clear just to accommodate their schedule.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden they don't show up, and I'm like, well, I'm not even going to use you.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Roof Talk. This week, we're having kind of an altered episode. We had a guest that was supposed to come on. They had some stuff come up, and they weren't able to make it today. So we're going to do a little ad-lib and do a in-house episode. So we're going to talk a little bit of accountability, some life lessons, why roofers fail. That's kind of going to be the key. And then we're going to talk about, how you can keep yourself accountable and do well in business. So yeah, we can dive into it. I'm honestly just going to ask you guys some questions. And then,
Let me cut in real quick. I'm going to switch the frame. Thanks for introducing us.
oh my
Yeah, I was about to
God.
say, bro,
Hey,
he's
my
going
bad,
on
my
this
bad.
whole thing.
Hey, I'm used to having a special guest. You guys are obviously special.
Who are we? Who are we?
Yeah. So I got
Tell us
Israel today. He's one of our leading sales reps, and we got Isaac, who's just behind him, chasing his tail all year.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, so these guys are going to come on and fill in for our guests today. And let's talk. So we can kind of just jump right into it here.
Oh, by the way, I have headphones because I'm also running production.
Yeah, he's doing great.
So-
Everybody was asking.
Yeah.
And
I had so many people blowing up the
in
phone.
the chat. They were all asking.
Why does he have
why
headphones
Is he wearing
on?
headphones?
He's a little special. So anyway,
It's actually one of those headphones that tell him
so
to breathe
I'll
in and
start
breathe out.
with
Translates. Okay.
So I'll start with asking Israel. So
Okay.
from your experience, what are the biggest reasons roofers can fail in this industry?
Roofing salesman?
Now this is a broad term, but let's just say on a company standpoint, why would you see like a company that goes out, they have sales reps? What are some of the contributing factors to failing?
Shoot.
It's a tough one.
I get
That's
you're
a-
talking in general, right?
Yes.
I think it's a mixture of things. So
Miscommunication.
no, that's a little part, but I think
just
the main thing would be structure. If you don't have a
Yeah.
structure, if you don't have a lead system, if you're doing everything by paper, all that stuff's gonna create a mess for you essentially. And obviously, it comes down to sales, comes down to if your team's doing stuff correctly. And I think everything has to be smooth. I mean, right now we kind of have a smooth system that's
Yeah.
going on.
I would say.
And I think we have a good system when it comes to leads, sales, everything that we do on a daily basis that creates success for us. But other than that, I think people fail for a lack of that.
Yeah, it's hard when you're like in a company that's doing well to like why do people fail? Like I think whenever you get into a position to where you're with a company that has, obviously you've seen some success and then you fall apart, it would probably be a little easier to have insight on, why people fail. But we see it all the time, and it's not just in like the roofing industry, for instance. You see it on both sides. You see I think it's a lot of these companies that go out and their primary source of leads is door knocking, to be honest.
Yeah.
So usually what I've seen, and I've seen startup companies do this, they come out and they hire like 10, 15 people. They all go hit doors. Well, what happens is you don't have any history, so you're not getting referrals. You're not getting organic leads. The only way you get your leads is by door knocking. So you get, 10, 15 guys, you give them the morale, they're out there hitting, maybe finding success, but at some point you hit a wall. You get to a point to where you get burnt out. And then whenever you make it to that point, the people get burnt out. They don't have the energy anymore. They don't have the drive to go out and get leads.
Yeah.
And over time, I think they naturally, it fails. The system fails.
I agree.
And then you have other models too, to where people are getting paid too much money. So there's not enough. I mean, and you guys are reps.
What do you think about that?
No, but I mean, you guys are reps, but you see it. You've seen the industries where there's reps. Hey, you close one deal, you make 10 grand.
That's a problem.
In what world can you close a deal?
Sounds great.
No,
I mean,
it does.
For the rep aspect, it sounds great.
For
but
that first year.
For the consumer aspect
Yeah.
of it. And
So I think those type of models work for about a year.
Yeah.
You can generate a lot of income quickly, and then it all kind of falls apart. You get to your first workers' comp audit. We just hit that.
Yeah.
The guy that's supposed to be on our podcast, he just gave us one of our audits. He didn't make it today, but he hit us with an audit. No, this is like a real thing. So like, he hits us with a workers' comp audit. We have a new bill for $24,000 we weren't expecting.
Yeah.
So you get hit with that bill, and a lot of companies, they're overpaying all their people all year. So at the end of the year, when things start to get slow, you get hit with a $24,000 bill, and you're like, and sometimes it's bigger. You might get hit with a $60,000 bill, and you're like, oh man, like we've paid out all this money, and there's nothing left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So then you go to pay that bill, and you go bankrupt. I mean, we've seen it.
Pull out Isaac's check.
Yeah. And actually, we've seen, we follow like people like Dimitri on Roofing Insights, and this is one of their podcasts they just had. A lot of roofers, they sell themselves short, so they're selling, say you sell at a low margin all year, and you're like just trying to win jobs. You get to the end of the year, you had all this payroll. You had all these people that you paid. Your workers' comp does an audit of your business. And then all of a sudden, you get some big fat bill you're not used to or not ready for. You get a $100,000 bill, and it's tough for anybody to pay for that. So I can see that as being one of the reasons why people fail. I think, you're not relying on referrals. You're not relying on organic leads. And you just hire a bunch of people, and they all get burnt out.
I would say in that situation, you're not playing ahead. You're just playing for today, tomorrow, maybe the next week. But you're not, like you said, it's a year deal. Most times, in some situations, may be different, of course. But in the reality of that, you're exactly right. Give that rep a full year doing that. He's going to get burnt out. And guess what? You're thinking of, what am I supposed to do now? What can I do now? And so it's not really in my eyes, a permanent long-term situation for your business.
Yeah, I look at all the different industries, and we see these folks that are finding extreme success early on. We'll say like solar. We had a solar guest on. Shout out to Caleb. But
shout out to Caleb.
Solar industry and a lot of the roofing industries are similar. They go out and they're chasing leads. They're chasing storms. They're door knocking people's houses. And it's the retention rates are really hard there, because you're splashing a lot of money, and it's real
saturated.
Yeah.
Very saturated.
And it's super sexy when you think about it, like, oh, I can make all this money. But the deal is that the same question I ask on each thing when we're looking at it from a business perspective, I'm like, hey, you're throwing a bunch of money in front of me, and it all sounds great.
It looks
how
great.
do we make, but it's like, how do we make this last long term? Because I'm trying to create a business to where we have people that come and that can stay, that can build careers, and not just make a 1 year quick big salary and then leave.
Right.
So I think that's, I don't know, we got off on a tangent here. But I think that's super important, to try to set yourself up for the long haul and not just the short-term money.
I think that goes to some of those, what we like to call this in this industry, storm chasers, where they'll just pop in and kind of like how Zane's doing right now. He's
Zane's
just popping
popping
in right now.
Zane just popped in.
What's up, Zane? Guys, this is Zane. He's our production manager. I know he's been on a podcast before, I believe.
Yeah.
He was just meeting with some of our crews here, talking some end of the year strategies for 2026. That's all about.
Because why? We're thinking about.
Yes, so that ties right back into the long-term
Exactly.
goals. We're not trying to close our doors starting in 2026. We want to
Keep 'em
retain
open.
our crews, retain our staff, and keep pushing for the future.
And
So
double the amount of people that are coming in our office. That would be
for
great.
sure.
Daniel said people get tired of hard work, but that's what it takes.
Honestly, people do.
So shout out to Daniel. He's obviously our original founder.
He's the reason
here,
why we're all here, in all honesty.
And it's easy to do, when you get started out. I think in any position, usually when you go work somewhere, you get excited, right? For whatever reason, you're like, hey, I'm excited.
It's a
to
new
start this
adventure.
job.
It's a new journey. Whatever.
Yes. So you get excited, and especially with sales jobs, it's like when they're dangling the carrot. You're dangling all that money in front of somebody.
Hand it to me.
Yeah, so it's easy to get.
You could come here and make $300,000 a year. Well, yeah, you can, but it's not that easy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It is definitely a lot harder than.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the keys here is it is extremely possible, but then you have to be realistic with yourself and like what does it take to get there, and then you have to face things like burnout and things. So you have to find new ways to get inspiration.
What's up, Nick? How you doing, buddy?
Is that-
Just Nick
Oh, Nick
Reynolds.
Reynolds.
Yep.
Welcome, Nick. But yeah, so here's another question. So for roofing success, we'll go with Isaac. So how much roofing success do you think is skill versus being disciplined? We'll talk about sales.
All right. Okay. That was what
We'll talk sales. You're a sales guy. So when you're going out to sell a job, your success that you find, how much of that do you think is attributed to skills in selling or being disciplined?
I would say a little bit of both. I'm not gonna lie. That's the truth.
Well, no, I agree.
I would say you can't have one or the other, because if you have one without the other, then that other one that you just had isn't gonna really succeed very, very far, because you have to have the discipline to keep pushing forward, and you have to have the routine. Honestly, it's all about discipline. I would say, because whenever if you have the discipline to keep, wake up every single morning. We've said this on this podcast many, many times. Set little goals, small little goals to start your day, start your week, start your month, start your goal. And without the discipline to keep reoccurring this every single day, and yes, it's a process. And honestly, if you don't have it in you, it's going to be tough for you. It really is, and you're going to have to grind even harder and harder and harder. And some people, it comes naturally. To be able to sell, be able to talk to people, and
So that would be like the skill side of it.
the skill
being
side
able
of
to
it.
sell.
I would say, yeah. But
That's interesting. So
you
can
can't have discipline
without being able to sell.
yeah,
sell.
and
Yeah.
that's the truth of it. You can't
disagree.
have. You disagree? Go
Yes.
ahead.
Go ahead.
Look at me, my first year.
Yeah, it is true. You did have a
My
rough
first year, I
yeah.
didn't have the skill of selling. I was like, I don't know everything. I'm not used to this in general.
the system.
So
I
do
had
you
to
think
grind.
do you think sales skills can be taught? Or do you
Yes.
think that
I would
think
say in your
enough-
situation,
enough
you're- yeah.
discipline, in my opinion, enough discipline will get you that skill. And then
I don't think.
obviously you got to keep.
It's
being
different for
disciplined.
you and I, because you and I walked in here, because whenever for people that are watching this, Zane and I, we were, before he was the production manager, him and I were both sales reps, and it's just based by
Well, because like, figure this. Let's say it's me and Isaac, right? Let's say it was me last year. I wasn't experienced. He was. He could have skill and sell 3 or 4 jobs and just sit on the couch if he wanted to. I'd have to grind my butt off just to try to make those 3 or 4 sales. But if I do that enough, eventually I'm going to learn everything.
Yeah.
And now we're going to be at the same level of skill, but I'm going to have that much more discipline, so I'm going to succeed more.
I do agree with
Yeah.
you on that.
I will say, so I did see that. So I think
Damn.
No, I'll give it to you. Yeah,
I
that's the
agree.
truth. That's the truth.
Because I was more on the side
It was
of,
easier for me because how many roofs did you have to go through? How many inspections did you have to go through?
Just imagine, let's just say I did 10 inspections, hypothetically, and I sold 2. He might have done 10 and sold
I was whenever I started, I was selling every single one of them. I really was. That's why I really was. I'm serious. I walked to my first job and I sold the whole entire deal. I really was. And some people, they have issues with doing that to where that they can't. They have the skill or the people aspect of it to just sit and talk with them and grow a relationship with that customer.
I think
Because it's a 50-50 deal.
yeah, it's interesting you said it, because I would think, when we go to hire someone, you want to find somebody that has the baseline. Like, you have to be likable.
like a minimum.
Like, you have to be likable, personable,
presentable.
Like, skills is something you can definitely, or sales is something you can definitely learn. But there are certain people out there that just don't have it.
Yeah.
Like, they could be extremely disciplined. They could do all this stuff, set their day up to pass everyone.
Yeah.
And then still not be able to sell anything. So I'll say, when you first came in, like, you're a personable person as well.
You
But
are.
it's interesting that you say that, because I would argue, is
We were shocked
extremely-
that you weren't selling the way.
yeah. So I would say that you were extremely disciplined.
Yeah.
But the sales side, you did struggle a little bit in the beginning. I remember that now. But Isaac's like the reverse. He's like zero discipline, can sell the heck out of stuff. So what we're trying to do is, and this is where we start talking longevity.
Yeah.
So we try to do is mix that. We're like, hey, Isaac, we had this conversation yesterday. I think yesterday, right?
Yeah, I'm part of it.
Like, hey, bro, you can sell a sock to whatever.
An
Ice
to Eskimos, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, you can sell ice to an Eskimo. But if you would get the discipline, you could go from being
You'd be the best.
you could go from being if you could get Israel's discipline and with your sales skills, you could go from being a 6-figure producer, and you sold 7 figures, whatever. You sold, roughly $2 million in sales. We're pushing. But I'm
Almost.
saying, like, earner. You could go from
Amy
like
just outed me, chat.
no. That's
You're
that's a
good.
great thing.
It is.
Um,
And this
Chad, can we fact check
in this market, I would say it's a massive thing.
Yeah, so you could go from like selling, being an average, and that's not even an average seller. You're doing
I don't
great.
think it's not
No.
average at all.
There's a lot of people fighting to get 1 million, but you could go from selling 2 million to 4.
Yeah.
So you could go from being like just a 6-figure owner to like, hey, I can make $250,000 a year if you take your sales skills and turn it in, be disciplined, and set your days up to where you're being very intentional every single day. Like, hey, here's what I'm doing through the day. And I'm not just going out and just selling people. I'm getting more work. So yeah, I'm not trying to harp on Isaac.
No, you're good. You're good.
Sounds
No,
like you
it-
But on the flip side,
No,
you
he's
know,
exactly right. I'll take credit, or not take credit, but I'll take constructive criticism. Sorry, I can't talk today. Constructive criticism. Yeah, no, I'll take it all day long. I don't care. That's completely fine.
It takes a little bit
Whenever
of
I
both.
started, yeah, no, exactly right. Because I left a job that I had safety and security at. I had the benefits. I had I had the time and that workspace to where everything was gravy for me. But the paycheck just wasn't as gravy as we'd like it to be, of course, as everything. So
Yeah.
in this situation, and Anthony, I got to give you all the credit I can give, because if it wasn't for you pushing me as much, I'll have to say that, because it was a tough transition or a tough jump to be like, you know what, I can do this. And I just it was one of those situations where you just got to close your eyes and jump, in all honesty, and see how you land.
It took you a long time to open your eyes and jump.
Yeah, it did, because I
You
did.
were a
I
sales rep
was
for what, 2 years before you jumped?
Roughly,
And
yeah.
We were giving you.
he was already selling
and we
roofs.
were like, hey,
You're doing it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Come on, quit finding an excuse. I was in the same boat though, so I can't say.
Well, I mean,
much.
that's because like at first you and I we complimented each other very well,
I
because
just realized I had his mic muted.
Anthony's Israel or Zane's.
I just unmuted it right.
Zane's been muted the whole
wow.
I could,
What a
Wow,
bummer.
no wonder you couldn't hear me.
No, I could hear you, but it was like slight. That's why I was like,
Yeah.
You know, on
fix your
second
mic.
thought, let's just go ahead and mute it.
No, but back to whenever Zane and I started, we complimented each other very well, because Zane he has the things that sometimes I don't have, and I have the things sometimes he doesn't have. And whenever it comes to
Explain it.
breaking down certain things on a quote with the math or whatever the case was, just being very technical or logistic, he had it. He had the logistics of everything perfect. And he was also able to explain it to me to where I can just sell a crap. I didn't care what it was. Just tell me what I need to know, and I'll sell it. It doesn't matter. And I'll make us both money. That's
he's
fine.
he's not
That's-
joking with this.
That's
Like,
exact truth.
I was literally the behind the scenes. Like I showed up, people were so confused all the time. Luckily, we kind of sort of look alike, so it was easy.
Both of us
But
were
like-
Isaac at a long period of
Yeah,
time.
for the longest
when I first
time,
joined
everybody
in.
was like, "Oh, that's Isaac," and I'm like, "No, I'm Zane."
When I first joined, I thought y'all were the same person.
Yeah, yeah.
You never
Yeah.
got him, never
my
got him
truck
in the
messed
same
up?
room at the same time.
Well,
do you remember-
the other funny part was we both have a sleeve of tattoos,
Yeah.
and he up until this last year finally got his other side. So it was like we both looked the same. We both had almost similar tattoos,
Just
and we
one of
both
us was a
drive.
little
And we
rougher
both
looking.
drive.
So
we,
when I
we both
when I
drove
first joined
diesels.
in, my truck messed up, and I knew
He
you
did.
were the truck guy.
I was
Yeah.
like,
like
why are
the
you
mechanic.
texting me about this,
And
bro?
I text him on Facebook. And I'm like, hey, bro.
I was like,
I sent him a video. And you can hear like the fan and everything. I'm like, do you know what's wrong? He's like, no. And I was like, I thought you were the mechanic.
I was
dude.
at my other job. I'm like,
But it
why
was
are you
Zane.
even texting me about this right now, dude? At first, you were the new guy, and new guys are competition. I'll admit it. I don't care. New guys don't really have the.
I feel like there's no competition. I
and
feel like there's more competition now.
yeah, I would say so. I would say so.
And that would be another thing. So that Isaac needs to work on, obviously. You know, if you bring in,
Treat them nice.
yes. So as
the
a
new
season,
people are nice. I mean, you got
Yeah, as a-
seniority, bro. You go to every job like that. Every
Shout out to Leighton Brandon.
Oh my god.
Hey, there's a kid. I will say though, there is a kid had the skills, and I'll be brutally honest. I'll call him out, and he's not even here, and I'd say it to his face. He didn't have the discipline for the door knocking.
Yeah.
But Leighton, dude,
Shout out
I
to
would
Leighton.
hire him now as a foreman. He has that skill to install
yeah.
flat roofs and everything like that.
Yeah, Leighton's
Like
a good foreman.
he is the most skilled. He is probably the most skilled
Yeah.
sales guy we had.
And that goes for like all roofers. You know, you can be
I
you
will
can
say
be
that.
a
Yeah.
Flat roofs.
you can be like a top of the line installer, beautiful craftsmanship. But that doesn't mean it's gonna translate to the sales side.
Whenever it comes to production side, I feel like that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
Because like they're like, oh, I feel like it's this, I feel like it's that. I'm like, no, I will hire somebody with skill and no discipline before we hire somebody with discipline and no skill.
Yeah, because you can kind of indoctrinate, you know,
Yeah.
So I think as far as sales goes, you have to have a base level of ability to sell. You have to be personable, those type of things. So those are the key things to look for. The discipline, and that's what we work on every day. So, for instance, Isaac. Keep going back to Isaac. Because
I'm the example for everybody.
Well, no, because he's really
The only time the example is when he's trying to make a point of discipline.
yeah, because you're really good at sales. So the beauty of it is, it's like, hey, you can hit 2 million, and when you come here and you work with us at Daniels Roofing, we're not going to leave you alone and say, hey, congratulations, 2 million. You just sit back and do nothing.
Yeah.
You know, our goal here is to push you every single day. So, you know, we have back and forth sometimes.
And it sucks.
It-
I'll admit
it's hard.
It's a punch in the gut sometimes
But
because
I-
you're like, damn, dude, I worked my butt off,
Yeah.
bro. And 2 million or whatever the case, whatever the number is, regardless. But at the same time, whatever the effort you put into it, then you got that person just pushing. And
The thing is, you should want to do that.
I understand that,
Yeah.
but the normal person, that's not your human nature. It's not. I don't care who you are. It's not really a human nature, normal thing to happen to where it's every single day. You have to learn that, and it's the discipline. I'll agree with you there. You have to sit down and you have to come to terms with yourself and humble yourself a lot because, yes, Isaac can sell a crap ton of roofs. That's completely fine. But at the same time, Isaac's not going to be busting his butt like Israel does every single day. I'll give it to him all day long. I don't care.
I just want the audience to know that
got it on
Isaac
recording.
realizes
Shut
his
up,
weak
dude.
points. So if he doesn't work on them, that's on him.
Our goal, our goal as a company, for all of everyone that works here, is to one, set you up for something that you can stay for, stay around for long term.
Yeah.
It's okay to splash some money at you, but I want to make it to where you guys can build a career.
Yeah.
Hopefully. And then secondly, I don't care how good that you do. Israel, if you make 500 grand next year, what do you think's going to happen?
nice. We're
to Vegas.
All on black. Every dime.
Yeah,
all
every
on
penny
black.
would be right on black.
In all seriousness, no. Let's say you make 500 grand next year. Do you think that myself or Grant or any of the guys that work here, we're going to be like, hey, you know what, bro? You should just take some time off and stop pushing.
Y'all would probably give me so much crap for not hitting 1 million.
Exactly. So my argument would be, especially in this space, you should want to be around people, and this goes for anyone, not even in this space.
Pushing you.
You should want to be around leaders and people that you're working with every day.
Yeah.
You should want them to, regardless of how much you've done, you should want them to push you.
Yeah.
And if your company's not pushing you, there's something wrong there. Like at no point,
I agree.
because that's the thing, we can celebrate, there's a season for celebrating. Because hey,
Or lunch.
we had lunch today.
Pizza.
Oh, come on.
Pizza parties, guys.
We usually go to El Torero. Shout out to LTs. But you should definitely, I think it's important to be around people that are pushing you every day, regardless of how much success you have.
Yeah.
And when you're not doing well, obviously those are hard times, and you still have to have those tough moments. But even when you are doing great, it's like, hey,
Sometimes
do
you need that
more.
reminder.
we got to do more, or you can do more.
Like you have good weeks or a good month. It's like, man, I could chill for a little bit.
It's nice, bro.
It's easy.
Especially for
But-
people in our situation.
make more.
You're not used to these.
Oh, not even a
It's-
fraction.
It's hard to stare at the checks that you and I get, and I know some other reps do it, and not want to relax. That's the truth. That's the
Yeah.
truth.
Well, I get it, because you grind and you push, and you're like, I'm making all this money.
Now
And-
let me
Well, like for example, if we're going on vacation, like we went to Mexico last year,
yeah.
I grinded my butt off.
So did I. Yeah,
to like
yeah, we both
sell
did.
and collect checks weeks before.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the way when I went to Mexico. I was
That
like,
was
I'm
yes.
good.
That
What's
was
the
why
time-
my highest
Then-
month was that month, because I pushed and pushed and pushed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're not going to be working for a week. So you got to make sure you're set for that next week. Or
Well, no, that's
monthly.
different. So I think there's a time and place for everything. So it's like, if you're going to take some legitimate time, you're saying, hey, I'm going to separate myself from work and have some me time. That should be you time. Or if you have family, like you should dedicate that time to your family.
Yeah.
So I do think that there's a time where you need to shut the work off.
And you kind of have to. In all
But
honesty.
the other 51 weeks of the year, we're going to
only
keep pushing.
51 weeks, dude.
That's
when-
1 week off.
And whenever you do take that time and you shut your phone off, you're going to turn it back on. There's going to be 117 missed phone calls and
I don't do that.
notifications.
There was
Oh, I did.
118.
Whenever I took that week off, I shut my phone off.
Yeah, so
that's different. That's different.
I took off and I shut my phone off, and I literally had 117 notifications when
my
I turned it back on.
gosh.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, it is a lot. And in the roofing, in the roofing space, we're always busy and there's always stuff to do. So you got to have, And it's hard when you take time off to truly take time off in our space because you have clients that depend on you.
They do.
You have your company that's asking you questions. So I get all that, but I'm just, the point I'm trying to make is, regardless of the success you find, I looked at payroll this week, not payroll, but I've looked at our, let's say payroll for the whole year so far.
Oh gosh, that's a big number.
We'll just say on the sales side, between the office staff and our sales team, we're pushing $1 million in payroll.
Yeah.
And you look at a number like that and you're like, oh my goodness, like we've paid out $1 million to people.
3/4 is his.
No.
Yes.
Excluding myself.
Oh, that was just okay.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
good. Let's add it and then see.
After
Now we're
I-
at 5 million.
After I hire all my scientists, and
We'll call
I make
that.
nothing. It's a wash. But you look at that, and at first you're like, oh my goodness, like look at all this money we paid out.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, okay, well next year, let's see. I want to see 1.5, or let's double it for next year.
Yeah.
Because that means that all you guys individually have pushed harder. You're making more money, and full circle, the company gets to make more money. Our crews get to do more jobs. It's a full thing for everybody. Zane gets paid off the top, so he makes more money. Grant makes more money. Diana makes more money. Everybody eats when Isaac sells more. So we're gonna keep pushing Isaac
There you
and
go.
keep pushing Israel
So that
to
they
do
can-
better.
So the moral of the story, chat, and everybody,
we do a good job.
Is that we do a great job,
That's why he's able to drop.
and everybody wants a piece of our pie. That's exactly.
Yeah, we're not going to touch base on the fact
Daniel,
that production
let me-
busted $1 million 3 times this year.
I understand that. Great.
Let me cut in.
Yeah, go ahead.
Daniel said it takes hundreds of visits, hundreds of miles, thousands of handshakes, and long-term Tiger Grip commitment with the. It's hard to talk with these headphones. Hold on. And long-term Tiger
yourself.
Grip commitment with a united purpose to achieve a big goal. Then do it again over and over.
Over and
Yeah.
over
It's so
and
hard to
over
talk with these
and
things
over
on.
because you can hear yourself talking. I'm assuming. Yeah.
And it lags.
Just take it off. Just take it off.
Oh, I need to make sure it's good.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no, very true.
it's a grind. It's a hustle, and if you're not hungry enough, then you'll quickly realize of how hungry you are.
Yeah.
That's the truth. That's the truth of my opinion.
Yeah, so let's talk accountability a little bit. If you say you're gonna be somewhere, obviously you need to show up, right? And for us, sorry, it's not a dig at anybody.
What are you referring to?
Yeah, it's not a dig at anyone. So
Yeah.
for us, this plays a large role.
Yeah.
So let's
Because
talk
we
ab-
deal with it on our
Yeah.
subcontractors.
Well, no.
Sometimes.
Let's just talk. We're talking sales.
I was
we're
about to
talking.
say, we deal with it on a daily basis with everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, there's times that you call, oh, yeah, I'll be there at this time, such and such, or whatever. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, your whole day's blown out of the water. I do it on multiple occasions. You don't know how many times I've
It's
called.
hard.
You don't know how many times I've called other contractors, customers, supply houses, Anthony himself, who's my boss. Or, well, I like calling Anthony more of a leader just because he's not the
He's your
typical
boss. He's your owner.
No, he acts differently. It's kind of a mindset thing. Friggin', I've called all those guys. Hey, sorry, I got wrapped up.
Yeah.
And that's part. And most people understand. And then they'll hit you with, well, a phone call or a text would have been nice.
You're exactly
and
right.
that moment they hit you with that, you go from
Dang.
12-foot tall bulletproof to a toddler laying in a crib.
Yeah.
'cause
I mean,
like,
you're
you
just
know
like,
what?
you're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So Israel, why do you think accountability is more important in roofing than almost any other trade? Now, I actually don't even like that part, any other trade, but why do you think accountability is super important in the roofing space? Let's say from the sales side. So you're a rep.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Which
You're a
area?
rep. You have clients, right?
Okay.
How do showing up when you say you're going to show up?
Affects.
Yeah. How does that affect your
Big.
success with clients?
Yeah. Well, so
So you set an appointment. Let's say you get a lead. How do you handle it from there? How do you hold yourself accountable to
So
that
here's the
client?
thing: you get a lead, and obviously we've all talked about it. The quicker you get to that lead, you're probably gonna have a better chance of closing it.
The odds, yeah.
And actually, I talked to a couple clients these past couple, I'd say maybe months.
Yeah.
And the problem they had was like, hey, we're gonna go with you because one, you know what you're talking about. You know, you were
Informed
a
us
great
on
person to talk
everything.
to.
Yeah.
You know, you answered all of our questions. But on top of that, we called 3 or 4 different roofers, and they said they were 3 or 4 weeks out. So it's like for us, we try to get 24 to 48 hours to get there, do the inspection, provide the estimate.
You're talking about just,
Which
doing,
by-
just doing the estimate,
That's
right?
what I'm
Yeah.
about to say.
Yeah.
By the way,
That's just a
we're
basic
still
thing.
3 to 4 weeks out, but our reps are pushing harder to get to you faster
Yeah.
and faster and faster.
And that's which has happened to me too. I got to take
Yeah, same here.
responsibility. There's been times where I'm like, hey, I could probably be there at this time on this day, and I'm like, crap, I forgot. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes it just happens. You get busy, or we stop in the office, and then someone has a question, or there's a client that comes in, and it's like, man, now I'm running late. That
Yeah.
leaves a bad impression on that client. Sometimes it happens, and it's unfortunate, but I see that a lot where I'll win a lot of deals based off of just showing up like early.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
So say you have a client and you're like, you're like, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, I'll be there Tuesday at 12.
Yeah.
Tuesday at 1:30 it rolls around. And keep in mind, these are all people.
Yeah.
They have lives, they have work, they have families, children, etc. So they chalk time out of their day. You just say, hey, I'm going to be here at noon when Israel told me he'll be here.
Yeah.
So what do you think that does whenever you show up when it's 2 o'clock and you're like, hey, I'm on my way? How do you think that affects?
That's a bad impression already.
Bad,
Yeah,
bitter
'Cause
taste.
Just me, for example, when I was being a property manager, I had the same thing. I'd call contractors saying, I have a plumbing issue, I have X, Y, and Z going on. And I'd make my schedule clear just to accommodate their schedule.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden they don't show up, and I'm like, well, I'm not even going to use you.
Because you didn't take
So
the time.
So how do you think that one missed meeting, one missed phone call, one missed reply?
You're
How can that?
completely messing everything up on that deal.
Yeah. So how can that affect like your company's reputation long term?
It'll make them sound bad. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
Daniel's Roofing doesn't come out here on time. You know, they make promises they can't keep. I mean, it's just
Exactly.
a lot of stuff that'll be bad on your
Which I hope that we don't have that reputation. You know, I don't think so. But I've never had.
For the
an
most
Yeah,
issue
so
with
I
that,
think-
but
I mean, it happens,
That's
unfortunately,
something we,
sometimes.
yeah, and you have
Yeah.
the outliers. You'll have that in any scenario. You're gonna have the outlier of like X or X happened.
Yeah.
Obviously, but I think for the most part, we always try to set appointments and honor those and show up.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of being a good sales rep, and that's part of being just a man
Yeah.
in general.
I try to always be early.
Yeah.
I always
Show up 5
first
minutes
off,
early.
I want to hurry up and get that customer taken care of real fast. So
Because you have more.
And
yeah,
sometimes-
exactly.
And here's the thing. This is how I know it's bad because it's happened to me on the reverse side. I've had clients that are like, hey,
Yeah.
meet me at 12 o'clock. And I'm like, okay, I got 5 or 6 people to see today. So I make time in my day, put them on my schedule, show up, and then they're like, hey, sorry, I'm running about 30 minutes late or I'll be there in an hour. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, come on. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even want to help you at this point, which obviously we do. But it's like, it leaves me a bad impression. So I can just imagine the customer who's actually paying us the money for it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it goes
I think
both
that's
ways.
I think that's a super important part about all of this. Whenever you're talking with homeowners or you're trying to help someone with their problem,
yeah.
put yourselves in their shoes.
The moral of it, I think it's a two-way street at that
Sounds so
point as
much
well.
better without headphones.
Yeah. I think it's also a two-way street as well because yes, our job is to have the utmost, highest customer assistance and customer care and just taking care of our people that our customers.
Yeah.
But at the same time, sometimes customers don't give a crap about your life, about what you have going on in your schedule and all that stuff like that. And they want it now.
Oh yeah, because they're handing you several $1,000s.
I understand.
That's what you got to understand too.
Yeah, which I do get. Don't get me wrong, I do. But at the same time, it's a two-way street. But it's more of the rep's job to try and smooth out that street as possible.
And honestly, it just depends on how you handle it. Some people, they'll want it done now, and I'm like, hey, I can get it to you today. Just give me a little bit of time, and I'll get to you at the end of the day because I already have stuff planned.
Exactly.
Sometimes you just got to understand that. I mean, if you can't, there's people that are like, hey, I need this done today.
Like-
And it's like, I can't do the install today.
Yeah.
And sometimes that just happens, unfortunately, or a repair. Like it happened to me last week. I had a client that called me out, and there was a guy that went right before me, and it was a repair, which is a small job. And they said, hey, don't bother coming out. This guy repaired it on the spot. And I was like, all right.
Hey, that's
I mean,
good.
fair play. I can't
Go
do
ahead.
nothing about that. I'm not even there yet. So
Yep.
sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
But you just got to understand sometimes.
Yeah, and I think would it be? Do you believe that in those scenarios, at least I believe the important part there is communication.
Yeah.
Yes.
So obviously,
Communications.
and this runs deep beyond just the sales, beyond just getting the yes.
This goes
initially.
deep into the company. Yes.
So even when you get the yes and you decide the customer's like, hey, I'm going with you guys, or we're going to do this job, and you go do the job and then things go wrong or whatever the case may be. My belief is that communication throughout that process can solve a lot of problems.
Oh,
So
100%.
especially like on the production side, which is what Zane handles,
yeah.
and the sales side, because this goes for both you guys. So whenever we sell a job and you go out before we even show up, you could say, "Hey, here's all of your what ifs. We're going to do this job. Here are the things we're doing. Here are the items that are maybe the unknowns, or it could be like." You could talk about their decking, for instance. You can go in the attic and inspect their decking, but the reality of it is, whenever we take the roof off, you might get a different story on top of that house than you see from underneath.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The side walls of the flashing on the dormers.
Sometimes on a rotted piece of decking, it'll be rotted on the top side and it hasn't gone through to the bottom
Well,
side.
exactly. And
So-
before we had good communication, and we still, sometimes it still happens, but there was times when I first started out, we would just be doing these roofs and we'd tell people, hey, $80 a sheet or whatever, $70 a sheet.
Which
or
all you think about is
$60.
$80.
Yeah, for decking.
And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, there's 50 sheets.
Exactly.
So you gotta do the math.
So you can go do an
That
inspection.
number.
You can, and I've seen it and
We
I've
hate
done it
those.
myself. So you can go,
$4,000.
you can go do a good inspection. You can walk the roof, it feel fine. You can look in the attic, it looks decent.
Yeah.
And then you get on the roof and like you need 50 sheets. Well, if you didn't really have a good conversation with that client ahead of time on the what ifs, they're not prepared for that.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it's in their estimate and it says it. We line it all out beautifully. Our estimates have it all.
We have
there.
everything in there.
We have multiple layers. We have decking. We even have like
But here's the problem: we can't rely on that customer to read that whole entire estimate.
Exactly.
and we
So-
can't rely on that
So
customer to understand
one thing
that
I will
whole entire
disagree on
estimate.
that is that, like, for example, if I get on a roof and it's like sketchy, I mean, you can get on some roofs and you're like, we're gonna do something, here.
Right.
Or even if it's I mean, it just depends on the customer. Some of them are like, hey, what is the worst case scenario? Me personally, what I do on my estimates is if I feel like if it's a newer house, you don't even have to do that at all. You might have to replace a sheet or two. But if it's like an older home, or if it's like a spongy roof, or if the client's just curious, I'll tell them on your estimate, I'm gonna put in a hypothetical. Hey, if we have to fully redeck this entire house, your worst case is that you're gonna pay $3,500 extra. And if you shake my hand and you sign the contract and give me a deposit, you're accepting that you might have to pay an additional $3,500 on that estimate. Otherwise, it could be anything less than that, but that's your maximum payout.
yeah.
And and then I'll tell them, if there's any fascia, woodwork that has to get redone, that's different. But at least for the decking, that's typically the only item that we don't charge for that up front.
Yeah. And that's just good communication.
And then they'll say,
So that's
perfect. And then they'll be fine with it. And I had it one time where I actually told the customer, this is a hypothetical and we had to do a full redeck.
Yeah,
And he was like, man, it sucks, but
I hate.
I already
those.
knew the price.
I hate those.
Those
is
are
cool.
terrible.
Because
Those are
it's a situation to where it's a hit for you because you're like, dang, bro, like I should have known.
Yeah.
Even though
Most of the time
I
you
mean, bro, I'm
there's a good
serious.
chance
Some
you usually can.
situation, yeah, I've been in multiple different, no, not multiple, but a handful of different situations where this roof doesn't feel bad at all. You're walking on it just fine. There's no sponginess, no squishiness, whatever the case is. You even look inside the attic and it looks just fine. And guys tear it all off and it's all rotted. And or whatever the case is. And you're just like, dang, dude. Like it's hard because I can't quote you something that I can't see.
exactly.
Unfortunately, customers love to have a sales rep of a roofing company that has X-ray vision, and I wish I did, but I don't.
sometimes I'll at least quote them. Like if I walk on that roof and most of it's solid and I feel like a section that's spongy, I'll say, look, I'm going to quote you a minimum of 10 sheets of decking.
Yeah.
If it's
yeah.
more, it's more. If it's less, I'll just deduct that off your estimate.
Right.
So sometimes you can just try to look out for them just a little bit so they're prepared for $1,000 or $800 or whatever it is. But
Yeah, the problem I've seen though, because I've witnessed it happen dozens of times. Whenever you do your due diligence, you communicate properly, you give the worst case scenario. I've seen us personally lose jobs
off
because we bid in the what if. Like,
Yeah.
hey, we're gonna
We
give you
gave
10
them
sheets.
too scary of an upfront price.
Yeah. So
That's
there's-
why I shy away from sometimes it's a case by case, customer by customer, different situation by situation. Sometimes I'm very weary about giving a customer a full decking quote because sometimes you don't really think it really needs it, but at the same time, in my eyes, if I was that customer, I would want to see the bottom worst of the worst number. But in some people, it's different, and that's a scary situation.
I had that scenario in Scott City. You remember Gary?
Yeah.
I wouldn't talk to any
Scott-
client.
yeah,
names.
Scott City.
Careful now.
Yeah.
No, he's pretty laid
Well,
back.
you don't
He
know,
probably
I'm
wouldn't
not gonna
mind.
say his last name or anything, but he was in Scott City, and I actually did an inspection for him. He called me saying I saw like a yard sign of yours.
Yeah.
And what's funny is that I didn't even have my yard signs, my numbers yet, so it didn't make sense. But he called my phone.
I remember this customer.
Yeah.
I remember you telling me about him.
And so I literally went over there. I went in his attic because I was like, hey, one thing I want to make sure is that like I'm quoting you appropriately. I go in his attic. and it looks from like the rafters and everything, it looks like he's got wood shake. So in my opinion, I'm like automatic
no.
2 layers at a minimum.
Yeah.
Because from the eave, it was 1 layer. So I'm like, okay, automatic 2 layers. We're probably gonna need to fully redeck this. And I think on that bid, I was
Want me to ask him
probably.
questions? That'll work.
Anthony's using the restroom.
Anthony's got a little
He's got that
bladder.
little I remember
Anthony's
I was,
bladder is the size of a squirrel.
I remember I bid him like I think $11,000 higher. And I was like, dude, this is just a worst case scenario because at the end of the day, I would hate for us to just tear all this off and quote you at a minimum price. And then all of a sudden I got to add $11,000 for the extra layer and for the full redeck too. And he was like, man, that's really high. So I remember he went shopping around for different quotes.
Mm-hmm.
And afterwards he's like, hey, can I talk to you on the phone? And I'm like, yeah. And he called me and he's like, hey, all these quotes are around X amount of dollars. And I think it was like $11,000 to $12,000 less.
Less than yours, yeah.
And I was like, well, keep in mind, if I find everything that they find on their bid, I'm going to deduct everything that I added on there for an extra charge. And I put a note saying this is how much it is.
Yeah.
And then I told him now if we don't find it, or if we do find it, sorry, and all of a sudden we have that extra layer, we have the full decking, at least you're prepared to pay that amount.
Yep.
He was like, okay, well, that's fine. He ended up choosing us to do it. And when we tore it off, ended up being fully redecked already. And it was just 1 layer of, for some reason, I guess the attic looked the same. I don't know. But he had that layer of
You
plywood
know what
all over.
You know what that was?
What?
They actually braced it underneath that plywood, so it was cedar shake and then
they put
plywood
on top. Yeah.
So we
they
didn't have to
framed out
stare.
everything.
Yeah, they reframed that whole roof line.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
That
when
saved
they're-
him a lot of money.
Yeah, I
And
seen
it was solid
I
too.
seen it
was solid too,
afterwards. Oh
completely.
yeah,
It was a solid deck.
and I know exactly what you guys are talking about because like I remember multiple times you and I were still a team, and I'd walk on a roof and I'd be like, I'm pretty sure it needs full redeck.
Yeah.
And it was the rafters were spaced farther apart to save money whenever they were building the home. And you'd walk on it and it would feel like it needed a whole new redeck. And it wouldn't. It's just the rafters were too far apart.
Yeah.
The ones that I really do, it really bugs me the snot out of me, and I know a lot of reps as well, and have had the same situation is to where you're up in front and honest with this customer about the what ifs, and you give them the worst case scenario. Worst case scenario estimate just in case because you've walked it, you feel like it's a little loose, wobbly, and rotted, whatever the case is, and you've prepared them. They go shopping. They find somebody that gives them a cheaper upfront number, and by the end of the whole entire deal, they've paid either the same amount that I've charged, what my full number was, or more, because that other company just wanted to give them a nice, pretty little price that had makeup all over it. And at the back end, then they can say, hey, just let you know, seeing all this. And that customer situation is a lot worse.
Yeah. I would much rather, though, and, speaking on that, I would any day of the week rather be the company that lays it all out on the front end
Yes.
than be the people that are just trying to get people's business and then send them some fat bill at the end.
Oh yeah.
So I think it's
That's biting me in the butt a couple times.
Yes,
yeah.
It has.
Which
It
it has.
happens, but at least I'm honest.
But
Yeah.
that shows your honesty and integrity, and that shows who we are as a company.
Yeah.
So I would any day of the week say, hey, here's all the things that we know that you're going to have to do, and here's your what ifs. And I would rather lose that job than go in and then some customer hate us because we give them an extra bill at the end because we were just trying to win their business on the front side.
Yeah.
So, and there are companies that do that, just to win business.
Yeah.
And
And it works for them.
the deal is we're just not, at any
Morally.
Company.
yeah. From a moral standpoint, we're not going to be that company.
No.
At no point do I want to just win someone's business with a pretty number on the front side, just to turn around and
Slap the bill on
effectively,
that.
slap them in the face on the backside and say, hey, give me an extra $2,000 because of whatever.
Yeah.
I just heard this conversation from, and I don't have to name any names, but we just recently lost a bid by a fair amount. And I won't even say where it is, but we just lost a bid because we bid it out appropriately, right?
Very appropriately.
Yes. So we lost that bid. No. We lost that bid by over 6 figures, we'll call it.
Oh, okay. I know. Which one. Yeah.
All that big job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is a
That
prime
big job down in,
all that big job that
Yeah.
wasn't anywhere around where our home office is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I know
this
exactly
is-
which one you're talking
But
about.
anyways, we lost this job, and it's a prime example.
Yeah.
So, we lost it, like I said, by 6 figures. The contractor that won the bid, he didn't realize all the work that went into it. And the statement that was told was, oh, well, I'm just going to hit him with overages at the end. So he underbid the job,
Yeah.
and actually underbid it knowingly, mind you, just to win,
Yeah.
knowing that he's going to charge that client, he's going to make up that 6 figures on the back end.
Yeah.
To me, that is
That's unethical.
yes, that's a company. You know, I know he lost it, and obviously we wanted to win the job, but the company that won that is a company that I would never, ever in a million years associate myself with.
Oh yeah.
And as a client, you should not want those type of people working around you. And when they come to you and they give you a bill for $100,000 more, you know, they should be. I mean, that type
In
of
my
company-
opinion,
You shouldn't pay that almost. I mean,
no,
it's
in
like,
that situation,
geez.
if there's a company that comes in, and like in this situation, in my opinion, whoever was in charge of paying that check should have looked into ours a lot more because
Yeah.
they are way off.
The
They are
thing is,
way off.
most of we're all
Case by case.
No. Well, I mean, yes, to an extent. We're all contractors though, so we know how it is to bid jobs.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to account in for some sort of overages sometimes,
Oh yeah,
but at the most part, you know what that overages will be. I mean, if
Most
you're
of the
doing
time.
siding,
most
if you're
of the
doing-
time, not
most
all
of
the
the
time.
time.
most of the time, yes. But even then, you can always give a worst case scenario. Hey, this is my price, worst case, or even add it on the bid. Like I said, that's what I do. I'll put their bid true to what the roof's going to cost. If it was just a,
If it was
hey,
easy peasy gravy,
Hey, I don't like the color of this roof. Can you replace it?
no extra
Everything's
things.
good.
Yeah,
I'll quote it like that, and then I'll put a note on that side that says, "Hey, I noticed a full redeck might need to be needed on this roof, or it might need woodwork, or it might need X, Y, and Z. This is what it will cost additionally." And then I will go over that with the customer before I sell the job and say, "Look, this is your price. Best case. Worst case, we have to add in anywhere from 0 to
X, Y, and Z.
$5,000, whatever it is." And that customer's like, "You know what? I'm prepared to pay $5,000 if I have to." Sweet, shake my hand. Let's get it going. And then worst case, you pay the extra $5. But most of those guys that are like, "Hey," because I've gotten underbid so many times, and then I'll follow up with them and they'll say, "Yeah, we ended up going with the cheaper company."
I think
and-
Israel's been the most underbidded.
Hey, the thing is, being honest will get you there in the future. I mean,
That
my
is true.
opinion. I mean,
That is true.
One day it'll pay off for me. I don't know.
I don't like the ones where you're like, oh, well, can I compare it apples to apples? Make sure they're using all the same products and this and that, or same quality. At
9
least.
times out of 10, they do not use the same quality that we are.
And then they'll hand you the bid, and I hate these the most. They'll hand you the bid, and it literally says install roof and this number. It gives no material, no
Yes.
nothing.
I
And I'm
mean-
sitting here going, yeah, this is a fly by night company. You're gonna have issues, but I can't talk you out of it because it's your home.
Yeah.
But in the back of your brain, you're going, this is not gonna go good for you.
Yeah.
And you can't tell people
You
that.
can't do that. You just got
Because then that's just overstepping your line. Like there's a certain
There's a line.
level. There's a certain level of professionalism
people
that you
that-
need to stay at.
There's some people that will cross that line, and I'm not one of them. Like I'll tell them, by all means, if that's the way you want to go for it. If you need anything in
Yeah.
the future, call me.
Yeah, that's me.
I mean, you
Every
gotta be
time.
respectful
Every
too.
time. You have to because it's their money, it's their choice, it's their
Well, 'cause
property, it's their
then it
roof.
also reflects on you too.
Exactly.
You lose a job, are you going to be a baby about it, or are you just going to suck it up? Sometimes you just lose and you move on.
And
Unfortunately,
also,
it happens.
yeah, and there's also a line of pushiness that you don't want to cross either.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't think I've ever been.
Because the customer will remember that. Even because the deal is when you say all that, they're still not going to use you.
yeah.
You've already
Now-
lost. You've already lost.
Yeah,
them.
now you just make yourself look worse, and you can't. And that's something we preach all the time. Never, ever bash another company to a customer.
Absolutely.
Never.
I
Well,
mean,
'cause-
I don't care what you know about them. I don't care if you know they're stealing money from their clients
Yes.
or whatever. They killed their pet dog.
Yeah.
You don't
Oh,
tell the
whoa.
clients that.
Whoa!
I took it-
I don't know anybody who goes that far, but okay.
No, I took it extreme. They're eating their
You know
dogs.
what? Yeah.
Well, because just imagine.
we know what you mean.
Then this might not happen. I don't know if it's happened to us before. I don't know, but let's just say, for example, I bid Isaac a roof, and he chose Zane to do his roof and not me.
Yeah.
And I overstepped and started
Great
talking,
choice.
And I either overstepped or I started talking smack to him about Zane or blah blah blah. He may not have gone with me.
I'm gonna more.
Well,
I'm-
not even that. He might just go on my website and put a bad review,
Yeah. Like, hey, this company's
and that's
pushy.
because I didn't
and
even
they-
do anything.
Yep.
And that's going to reflect on me as a bad person.
Well, because here's the
being,
deal.
like, a bad sore loser,
Say in that
essentially.
scenario, you hire Zane,
Yeah.
who's cheaper. They do a bad job. Well, Isaac held his integrity the whole time.
Oh yeah.
So when your neighbor says, I need a roof, well, you're obviously going to tell him not to use Zane, right?
Yep.
But you're going to be like, hey, these people are a little more expensive, but they had integrity, they had morals. They obviously the pitch was great. It was just the money was wrong. Don't use this other company because they were cheaper. So I think it comes full circle. You
Yep.
might lose the battle, but win the war, kind of thing. And that's what we're trying to do. It's all about longevity, winning long term, not winning short little deals here and there.
Yeah.
But there's a time and place for that. But
The best thing about the way these two hold themselves with that, oh, that was bad. After we've always been like, hey, don't do this. Don't, let's keep it professional. Let's keep it professional. I'll be out and about and people are like, oh, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm the production manager for Daniels Roofing. Oh, so and so. And 90% of the time in this area, just because these two run it, it's always them. It's always, oh, Isaac went out and measured my grandma's roof. He was so nice, helped her out with everything. Oh, Israel measured my uncle Danny's roof, blah, blah, blah. I have never had anybody stop me. And I drive the work truck quite often, so people know I work for you, obviously. I mean, I've never had anybody stop me and have a negative thing to say about you two.
Yeah. Well, for example,
I hope not. I
for
try
example,
not.
yesterday, shout out to Donna who left me a good review to Daniel.
I saw that.
I went to her house and it was done in 2013, right? So we're talking 12 years. Realistically, you still have life on that roof.
Yeah, should have 8 years. or so.
And she called me out. She's like, "Hey, I have a leak on a box vent." I went up there, took a look at it. Easily, I saw a nail popped out, and I was like, "Hey, it's a rusted nail. I could probably just seal it for you. Don't even worry about paying me nothing. Like, I'll just do it because I'm nice." And she was like super appreciative, and she's like, "Hey, this is a new construction build. These guys get really sloppy sometimes, which I mean, unfortunately, they do."
They do a lot.
And she's like, "I
New
know these."
construction's an animal.
Yeah, she was like,
It's an
"I know
animal.
these are cheap shingles. I know this was a cheap build." Like, she already knew, I guess. She's like, "Do you think I need a new roof?" And I was like, "Well, let me look at the roof. Odds are you probably don't, but I'll take a look." I got up there and I'm like, there's like 2 shingles that have nail pops. Other than that, I mean, there's a little bit of algae on the back. Other than that, like, it's still a good roof. And I told her that. And she's like, "Well, I want to replace it with the best shingles possible." And I was like, "Okay, well, I mean, I can always give you a price. Like, that's not going to hurt me or you. But
Yeah.
realistically, like, if it came down to, hey, this roof's too expensive, don't act like next week, if your roof's not replaced, it's going to collapse or you're going to get a leak or shingles are going to fly off because you're still realistically good for another 8 years."
Yeah.
And she was just like, "Well, I appreciate your honesty." We're good?
Yeah,
Oh, she was like, "I appreciate your honesty." And she said, "Me and my husband want to talk about replacing the roof anyway."
Yeah,
I
some
was
people,
like, "Geez, I
literally,
mean,
some
sometimes
people,
it happens, but
Some people just want to change their roof for the color or whatever.
Yeah.
We've had clients that have
Or
nice roofs.
in new construction builds, I've had this a lot where the homeowner comes and buys the house after somebody has already lived there that got the home built.
Yeah.
And they've found other issues, not with the roof, nothing like that, but they've found other issues with everything else. And like, man, I don't trust my roof. And they'll call us out for an inspection or whatever the case is, and you have to be honest with them. And some scenarios, they just want to go ahead and take care of it because they know, because they don't even know who the heck put the roof on. They don't know who to call. They don't know if for any kind of issues whatsoever. They'll go ahead and just do it, preventative maintenance, as any good homeowner should, and just get it taken care of so that they are prepared for anything after that.
Yeah.
Because Daniel's Roofing is here right in the middle of Jackson, and we'll take care of you no matter what. So it's just one of those situations to where new construction builds, you gotta be weary about them. You do, because
But everything's done so cheap. And that's
yes.
why that's a large reason why we're not heavy into new construction, because there's no money there, unfortunately. So a lot of times what you see is
oh yeah, Daniel just
poor
commented the review she gave me yesterday.
Yeah.
did
He put the whole review in
Yeah,
there.
she put
The
the
oh, it's a good one. We get a lot of the we get a bunch of reviews.
they
good
always say
reviews,
my
but-
name for some
the
reason.
whole new construction thing depends on the builder though too. Because like if you go all new constructions are cheap, not accurate. There's
I'm not even
guys
saying
out there
cheap,
that
I'm
are
just saying you
building
have to be careful.
good quality custom homes.
Well, like
But that's the difference between custom homes and new builds.
I told her yesterday
Yeah.
because she was asking me like, "Why do you think they do it so cheap?" And I'm like, "Okay, well, first off, I don't want to bash anybody. Like, I don't know the
Yeah.
company that did it."
Yeah.
And I was like, "But look, ma'am, this is the way I see it. Any business has to make money at some point.
Yep.
Any business is going to do a service, either providing, building, whatever it is, for a certain price, and they're going to mark it up, obviously, to make their own money. Like, it just has to, in order for a business to run.
It has to
Like,
work.
we're
Yeah.
just being honest with you."
Yeah.
And I was like, "So yeah, they could have built this house for probably 100,000 and probably sold it for 4 or 5. I mean, she got it for like I think 2 or 3, but
Regardless.
that's what I mean. Like, you have
Well,
to make
and
money in the
that's-
business to run it,
Yeah.
but that's just how it is with new construction. I mean,
And that right there is the difference why you see houses that if you build a custom home are knocking on 500,000 and you can go buy a spec home for 330, to 400. That's why that house is $100,000 plus
Yeah.
cheaper than you physically buying the land and building it. That's what people don't understand is the quality that you put into your custom forever home is different than the quality a guy is putting into a home that he's going to resell.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
I'm not dogging spec houses. I've seen some spec houses that are
Those
really,
got
really
empty.
nice and have that
Nine
quality.
times out of 10, a spec house, it's an easy sell in my opinion because that customer has already realized, other than just the roof, they have realized other issues going on with that home.
That's if the spec house has
That's what's next
issues.
question.
I'm
Right,
saying
right, right.
like
Not all of them.
yeah,
do,
not all of them do.
But if they call us,
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, yes, they do.
Yeah, so let's change gears a little bit. We're going to go from accountability. I know we were kind of on the accountability side. We'll talk some more of that a little bit.
Been there this whole time.
But let's talk systems a little bit because as a company scales, so when you go, and I've witnessed it firsthand. So as you go from, start a startup, and then you go into like your first million, your first 2 million, your first 3 million, you get to whatever, 10 million. I mean, that's where we're going to be knocking on probably next year.
Hopefully, yeah.
And when you go from that startup phase through, and I think even once you grow out, I think once you get past probably 10 million, it's probably all the same repetition, building that systems over and over. But when you start out, you probably don't have a whole lot of systems in place.
Oh yeah.
For instance, when
Pen
Daniel
and paper.
when Daniel was running, it was all, which he did, and I'll never take it away because he did a beautiful job of organizing everything. Honestly,
Make sure you talk nice. He's watching right now.
honestly, kind of crazy. I seen it, and I'm like, what in the world? I would never have this kind of organization.
A system worked for him.
Yes, but the deal is it works for him.
Yeah.
So but he was, you start out and you're hitting 1 million. You're a solopreneur at that point, running everything by yourself.
to say it. Solopreneur.
No, that's
I mean, that's a good one. I think
Yeah,
that might be a real word.
I think that's let's Google that.
That might be chat solopreneur.
So
Yeah. So you're a solopreneur. You're doing all this stuff yourself. You're running production. You're doing sales. Doing all of it. It's easy to keep pen and paper
Yep.
because you're the one looking at it all.
yeah.
But the deal is, like when I came on board.
And your situation is different, yeah.
So
He came on board. They were a duopreneur.
Yeah, duopreneur. So I come on board, and guess what? I'm not sitting there in Daniel's office 40 miles away.
Yeah.
I don't have access to his files,
Yeah.
right? So there's some systems and processes that go in place there when you start building out a company. In order to scale, you have to put processes in place. So what systems do most small companies not use, and why does that hurt them?
CRMs. CRMs off the bat.
CRMs.
So what's CRM an acronym for?
You know what he's doing right now?
Actually, I don't know. I actually don't know the CRM acronym.
I don't
Customer
either.
relation
Management.
management.
Yes, customer
really what it
relations.
stands
Yes,
for?
that's what it stands
Customer
for.
relations management. There you
we
go.
need a fact
fact
check.
check.
Really? Are you
Fact check
sure?
that.
Hang on
It
one
is
second.
customer
Chad.
relation
wanna say-
management.
I wanna
That
say
is
it
what
is.
CRM stands for.
It's been
I actually
so long
don't
since
know.
I've actually looked up what CRM
If
means.
that's what it stands for, I deserve a raise.
Customer relationship management.
There
you go.
And guess
Yeah.
what? You're not
That
getting no
is
grades.
your biggest issue when you're starting a company for sure.
Yeah, I see a lot of small businesses that
Because the
don't.
thing is, like, I mean, when I was in property management, for example, we did everything on a CRM,
Yeah,
but we also did it on paper too. And honestly, for me, it didn't make sense. I was like, why am I going to do all this typing up on a lease whole contract where I'm putting socials, everything, all the information, just to replicate that in the computer system, and then just write it all down again. But if you have a CRM, it's just so much more organized. Like you can have, which nowadays all the stuff for sales is completely like automated. I mean,
Yeah.
just like right now, we don't even have to text people sometimes. I mean, it'll automatically text, "Hey, I'm on the way." Sometimes that bites me in the butt when I'm not actually on the way. But
gotta hold those appointments.
yeah, well,
Be
no, 'cause-
accountable.
Well, because like for example with ours, it'll text them 30 minutes prior when I'm actually not on the way yet,
Yeah,
and I'll take off like 10 minutes or 15 minutes later. They're like, "Hey, are you here yet?" And I'm like, "I'm down the street. Give me a second."
Like,
But,
I'm at the stop
that
sign.
stuff's so much more easier. I mean, because think about it. Our phones, I mean, it's so convenient to have a phone. If you can, instead of, let me go back to the office, take pictures with a photo camera, like insurance agents
Insurance,
do,
yeah.
which they do it still, which is kind of
So
odd in my
weird,
opinion,
so
but I think
weird.
I don't know why they do that, but just imagine you're taking photos with the camera, then you got to put an SD card in your computer, you got to transport all that stuff, you got to probably print out each photo, put it in a file
Yeah.
with all this right. I mean, that takes way
PDF
too much
file and all
time.
that stuff.
You can just snap, 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 type in, one layer, blah, 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 make an estimate off your phone. I mean, it's so convenient for this thing. So
Yeah, and we're talking scaling, right?
You're talking scaling.
So you're the rep, but then you also have a production manager. You have a
Yep.
sales manager that has to see that information.
Exactly.
You have an office manager that has to see that information. You have crews that have access to that information as well.
Yep.
So you can take a photo, and in real time, your entire team can see it within 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Probably not even that.
Less.
And just imagine if your goal is, from zero writing on pen and paper to scale, the fastest way is to, which in my opinion, time is the biggest luxury. I mean, if you're wasting time, I have this file of paperwork. I need Zane to see it for production. I got to drive all the way to the office just to give him this packet of files so he can see the photos of the roof.
And
Yeah.
hope I'm there.
You know how long that takes? That'll take 30 minutes to get back to the office wherever you're at. I mean, stuff like that just takes so long. For example, the crew. Instead of us which we still kind of do, instead of calling or texting, which wastes time, which we're fixing, hey, what do we do with this ridge vent or what do we do with this pipe? Instead, look at the app. It'll take you 5 seconds. You don't have to text me, and then I respond 30 minutes later after I eat lunch, whatever it is. CRMs just save you so much time, and that'll elevate your business for sure.
Yeah. So Isaac, what do you think? How important on a job site is, and this goes from the inspection phase all the way through. How important is documentation? So this is the same wheelhouse. How important is documentation, notes, photos, etc., for the whole team?
Very important because there's different scenarios of why it's important, but just one that the first thing that pops in my head is we've had customers saying, "Hey, this is scratched or this is broke, this is dented, whatever the case is."
Yeah.
No, it's not, because I have a picture of it before my crew even got there, and it is the exact same way that it is today.
Oh, we've had that happen a million times.
That's why that's the first thing that pops in my head. Because insurance purposes, because we have to make sure that we leave your property either the same way that we got there, or better. That's our requirements, because my job is to come in, put a new roof on, and leave without you even knowing of any difference besides the roof. And anything else in that is then we'll go into other things. But yes, documentation, photos, notes, everything, because whatever I know, if I don't document it or take notes of it or take a picture of it, he doesn't know. And as a production manager, he has to know so that he can tell the crew these things.
Yeah.
I have to know these things so I can tell Grant these things, because he's a sales manager. He's supposed to keep me accountable as well. So it's an honest whole entire circle of where it sucks to say this, because it all relies on the rep. It really, really does. But that's why we should probably get paid the most.
I mean, as the rep,
I was about to say, bro's blaming us, and then he's just gonna throw that in there.
But no, that's the truth. And
so
if the reps don't do their job correctly, it's hard for him to do his job correctly, and it's hard for Grant to do his job correctly, and it's hard to keep all of us accountable in your situation if I don't do my job correctly.
yeah, that's why we're always having these meetings.
We have 20 minutes.
Which
Just saying.
No, that's why we're always having meetings, and we're hard on. It's unfortunate because you guys are the first step. You guys are the front lines of everything.
and we feel it
So-
all, and we hear it all. And
So
we,
obviously, you guys are going to be the individuals that we hold to the highest standard, because you're out in front of every single one of
we're
our
the
clients.
face of the company, which is
and you're the ones collecting this documentation. And on the other side of the accountability scale, it goes for our clients too. So you said like something damaged prior, right? I want to know as an owner that this item was already damaged, or hey, we did damage this. I want to know for a fact, like, hey, this
Yeah.
was
I've done
not
that.
damaged before. We're going to pay for this.
I have done that multiple times, and that honestly, that's another scenario that will divide the real, honest, true companies from these other fly-by-night companies, to where Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I know you didn't notice it on your gutter or your drip, whatever the case is. I noticed it myself.
Yeah.
This was not that way before I got here. Let's get this taken care of. That right there, that whole sentence that I
Reassurance.
just said, that will give that customer the most pillow feeling ever of just, these guys are taking care of me. I'm definitely going to recommend them to somebody else that I know that I care about. Because if they're going to take care of me like this, even though I didn't see these issues where I could have easily kept my mouth shut. Yep, you didn't see it. Great. We'll move on. You can call us later down the road if you find out or not. A lot of companies do that. But if you're trying to set yourself apart and be the next step of just a better company in general, especially in our market, to where there's There's a bunch of fly-by-night people around here that make our job a lot harder because a lot of people get burnt by their bridge, and they will just leave a bad taste of a rep or a roofing company or a contractor in general, and it just makes your job a lot harder. So that's why we just try to make sure that we can do everything correctly, document the things that we need to document, say the things that we need to say correctly, and make sure that that customer is taken care of to the utmost 100% so that they can pass along what our legacy is.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and write that and pay me $20. Put that on a card.
Zane, what do you think accountability during an install looks like?
Oh God.
Because these are
Oh.
these are real world problems that we face every single day. You know, we deal with accountability with our reps,
Oh Lord.
trying to make sure they're documenting
This segment's gonna take a long time. I'm gonna get a coffee
things
real quick.
things
Yeah, no
properly.
joke. Hey, can you grab me a water?
But
I'll be right back.
what does accountability on the job site look like for your crew?
Well,
Because hey, we just had these conversations, and these are
We
hard.
were in the doghouse. now.
first,
Yeah.
first part is make sure they go to the right house. That's the number one.
Yeah, that's most important.
I
for sure.
mean, that's why, just like Isaac was saying, we have the CRM. I just want to point out that I'm the only one who knew what that stood for. I'm like big headed about that.
I had no clue.
But we have a CRM, and they, these guys take photos from the ground, and it's not just roof. Because like, if you're standing on a roof and you take a photo, what good is that for the crew whenever they show up? They can't see the front door, they can't see the driveway, they can't see any of that. So these guys, they take photos from the ground all the way around the house. I can send the guys a photo of each side of the house. Hey, confirm this is the house. And in some of these cookie cutter homes, that's an issue.
It is.
Yeah, you get into a
In some of
neighborhood and
these
a lot of these houses look the
subdivisions
same.
where the
You know what
houses
those
are all
neighborhoods
the
are?
same.
They're all new construction homes because that one builder came in and cheaply built it all, and they all look the
Quit,
exact
dog-
same.
quit
Just saying.
dogging on these new constructions.
had
They're not
three
that
plans.
I'll do it all
bad.
day long because
They had
honestly,
3 different floor plans, and they built 40 houses.
Yeah. I live in a farmhouse from 1930. It's pretty obvious I don't like the new ones, but like, and I'm dead serious. In some of these cookie cutter homes, it is an issue. Like, the guys have texted me on multiple occasions, hey, are you sure this is the right house?
Mm-hmm.
And they sent me a photo to confirm, because another thing that they're starting to do that has kind of gotten to the new standard is numbers on the mailbox, no numbers on the house.
Yeah.
And that's an issue, because then you're sitting there, if there's 5 mailboxes in front of one lane,
oh yeah.
you know how hard that is?
Yeah.
And it's difficult. So making sure the house is right, that's obviously a big deal
didn't
about
get 'em
the accountability on the job site. Making sure the shingle color's right, another deal this big.
How do we confirm that we have the right shingles?
So we just started a new thing here recently. The old way was the crew double check the load every time. The new thing is they started sending, and this was because we implemented the landmarks, the pros, the Northgates.
Good, better,
Israel.
best.
Yeah, we did the good, better, best, and that started to take off. And now it's a thing of, hey, now we got to check the model of shingles and the color of shingles. I don't know if model is correct or not, but you know what I mean. Like,
Class. Of,
the
yeah,
class.
Yeah.
and it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, now we have like 3 different variables inside the shingle itself. All right, now we need to start getting photos of the shingle on the delivery truck. Make sure it's the right. And that's where it comes back to me again, where it's like, okay, well, these guys, they have a sheet. And then it's like, all right, they have a sheet, but I got to double check it still.
Yeah.
And it's just putting that much more accountability on me as the production guy, where I'm like, my phone goes off. I can't wait 30, 40 minutes because those guys are sitting on the roof going,
They're waiting on you.
are we ready?
They're
Are we
waiting
good?
on you. Yep.
You know, I mean, and it's simple, easy, just send a thumbs up. Bam, they're off to roofing. But that's another accountability thing. Another deal is, are we reflashing these skylights? Are we removing them?
Yep.
Are we doing this? Are we doing that? Are we doing ridge vent? You know, there's a bunch, and people go, oh, I just want a new roof. They don't realize there's like 60 different products we can put on that thing.
Yeah.
And it all depends if they want warranty. Well, now you're talking all CertainTeed products. Now you got to remember CertainTeed ridge vent's only 28 foot, not 30 foot like with a Manco. And, you know, there's other stuff that you got to keep in mind whenever you're ordering products that in turn cost you your accountability on the job site whenever you're ordering. And I mean, this happened that week that I took off. I forgot, GAF shingles. We sold a GAF job, which is kind of different.
That was mine.
25-foot ridge cap, not 30. Well, guess what? I ordered for 30, so we were 2 bundles short.
I've made that mistake.
Yeah, I mean,
a handful of times.
there's a bunch of it that goes accountability on the job site. I feel like starts way before the job site.
Oh yeah.
If you get there and you don't have a plan, you don't have all the details lined out, and everything,
Because it's hard
You
for
might
the
as well not
crew
even be there.
It's hard for the crew to ask you for all the details when you don't even have all the details.
Oh
Which
yeah,
is why we have our meetings, our weekly meetings with our reps. So
To
we
go
want-
over every single job and
Yeah.
make sure that there's no miscommunication, and to ensure that this customer has the full 100%, just as much as we can possibly give them.
And the
Yeah.
and the part about it is that makes it challenging is you can do all that, right? You can sell it. I went with you to a job. We sold it. And then we went over it 4 times and still the wrong ridge cap got put on.
Yes.
The wrong ventilation.
Yes.
So
Not my fault, guys.
this one's fresh.
Everybody in here, not my fault.
This one's fresh. But
there was no note.
so the
Accountability.
accountability
Yeah.
side, we all went over it multiple times, but there was no proper documentation to support that. Now, from a business side, what are we going to do?
Eat it up.
We're going to go back and change that ridge out for the right one. I mean, that's what we have to do as,
It's already done.
as a good business.
Yeah.
The client doesn't even know that
No.
it happened, that it's
No.
even an issue.
Client
They
doesn't
won't even know we're getting back on the
client,
roof.
client honestly doesn't even know right now.
But that's part of doing the
But we're gonna do it no matter what.
yeah. So that's part of doing the right
Oh good
thing.
lord!
Maybe that wasn't good to say.
I
No,
just
it's the truth. I
you
mean,
know, I mean,
was the
there's
next
We're
topic?
already no. Screw that. Go back up to that because yes, back to what we were just saying. As a company that is honest, morally, and ethically, all these things, I haven't even told the customer the issue that had already happened. What good is that going to do? Honestly, what good is that going to do?
At this point, it's not even actually an issue. We're
Let's
just
hear
gonna
it,
finish-
Isaac.
Let's just
What-
go ahead.
What are you
get it
hang
changed
on, I'm
out?
so confused.
What point
here.
are we trying to get here?
Are you
my
saying what
point-
good is it telling the customer we messed up? Is that
Just
is
go
that
fix
the-
it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you can't get
Yeah,
on
you
that
gotta tell
customer's home without
yeah, I
telling
understand
them you're
that.
going.
And this situation's a little different. You know what I'm
beep
talking
out this
about. Don't
whole
get too
thing.
don't get
What?
too sidetracked on
About
this.
this whole thing.
Be bobbing it, but
Yeah, we'll
it's
just crop this out. This is
in
not good.
general
Yeah.
that is just shows that we have accountability.
Wait, go back. There were more questions on that I wanted to go over.
What do you want to talk about?
I don't
Forget
know.
production. What's the next one?
That's
How much money have you made this year, Isaac?
Not very much.
So
I did.
why does communication matter more than
Well-
being the best talker?
Because then you
Communication-
actually get a plan.
Hold on.
You
Say
can
it again.
talk all day
Why does
long.
communication, quality communication, matter more than just being a good talker?
I don't like that question.
I don't like it
That's
either.
a tough one.
That's a
So being a good talker would be
okay. So quality communication,
Quality
meaning
communication.
knowledge.
yes.
Perfect. Okay.
Other than
that's
just-
a better question.
Other than just fluffing,
Okay.
because Isaac a fluffer.
Yeah, I was like, that's me.
He's a fluffer.
Okay, so
Fluff that.
He's fluffy.
Good lord.
quality, you keep it simple,
The
right?
last 20 minutes.
You got to
of
think
this
about it from a
cut.
point of view of as a homeowner. Most homeowners don't know anything on that roof other than there's a new roof on my home, whether it's a shingle or a metal roof. Whenever you're going over there and educating them on a system, you have to let them know, first off, whatever they choose, whether it's metal, shingle, flat roofing, whatever it is. You have to educate them on what's best. There's some people that I go to a roof and they have a 1 or a 212 with shingles on it. I'm like, okay, well, first off, let me just give you some advice, see what you think. I'll give you a price. I recommend 2-part low slope or EPDM, whatever it is. And then they ask why. Why do I have shingles on it? And I'm like, well, I don't know who the roofer was before. Everything changes. You know, every single year there's new codes, there's new stuff. For me to pass something, for us to hold warranty on it, for the manufacturer to hold warranty, we have to have a 212 or a 112 with 2-part low slope, whatever it is. But even shingles itself, they don't know anything about a shingle other than that's a shingle and that's metal. I mean, that's just how I was.
That's
when I-
honest, yeah.
When I first came into the business, I was just like, the only thing I know is that that's shingle and that looks like metal. So it's the same thing as a homeowner. You don't know anything. All you think is I'm paying 20 grand, 15 grand to a company that I don't even know what I'm giving money for, except for a roof. So if you're over here giving them a huge definition of everything, you kind of have to simple it down to make it like almost like you're babying the customer.
Too
Yeah.
complicated will confuse the customer,
Exactly.
and confusion will reverse the whole entire
Yeah,
situation.
you want to
Exactly.
educate without overly complicating.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then there's some people, which I've done it myself, where like I'll explain everything. It's like you don't need to do that sometimes. Just find out what they truly want. What do you want? Do you want, and narrow it down, shingle or metal? I want shingle. Okay. What kind of roof system do you want? Do you want, you know, out of the 3 that we offer, which one are you thinking about? They'll give me an option, or they'll say, I want to hear the warranties. Then don't worry about talking about anything else other than warranty. Just sell them on the warranty. Sometimes you can narrow down your sell and sell them based off of just one item. Whether it's, hey, this is a out of package warranty, this is the enhanced warranty, and they'll just automatically get sold on that. So sometimes they don't want to hear all this huge mess. They just want to know, what can I get out of this for what benefit? And then you have some that are just like, I don't care. What's the price?
A lot of that's good communication.
Then you just hear the
too.
price, and then they're like, okay, I'll just take that one, the cheap one. I mean, sometimes it just happens. But yeah.
Too much information sometimes confuses the customer. Just keep it to whatever. And what I do whenever I'm selling a roof, whatever I do is I will explain it the way I would want it explained to me.
Which is crazy.
No, that's the truth, because I didn't know nothing about roofing whenever I came into roofing. I didn't know nothing about it.
Daniel just said, talking may only be noise at times. Communication is effective. It is an effective way to portray an idea of understanding to where a customer can use it to make a decision. Agreed.
Yes.
I honestly wish Daniel was sitting here.
Agreed.
What else you got, Anthony?
That is very agreed. No, I agree with all that. So a lot of times what I would say is you need to ask,
What do you want from me?
yes. And you need to know what the client's baseline knowledge is about the product that you're selling, whatever the product is.
Oh, yeah.
You need to get a basic understanding, and that's where we build the Moff thing. You're making a friend helping a friend,
help a
right?
friend, yep.
So you want to get on the front end. You want to just talk to them as people. Like
Build a relationship.
keep the roof out of it, build a relationship, figure out what they know and what their expectations are before you get into all the roof stuff. Because they may not, like you said, they may not care about all that stuff. Sometimes they need to be educated, even when they might not, they need to be educated as a homeowner. Like, it's your responsibility to educate.
Yeah.
But the client can tell you what they want most of the time.
They just don't want the roof to be.
I was about to say
Yeah.
they don't want it to. They don't want it to leak anymore. That's normally what the
And then
conversation is.
obviously if you're a roofer and you're doing things outside of the standard, that should probably be known.
Yeah.
Because that affects price, right? Because people care about quality and they care about price and speed. They want all those things.
Yeah.
And most customers, they want the cheapest price.
They want all those
highest
things at the
quality and the
cheapest
highest
price,
speed.
yep.
You want it all, but unfortunately, you don't always get that. So clear communication and figuring out what the client needs are and what kind of knowledge base they have before you start is super, super important.
Yeah.
Because I did that, especially early on. I would sit down for 30 minutes going over every single line.
Oh, yeah.
Here's synthetic felt, and this is how the weight on it, and this is the clients.
They couldn't give two
They want to
craps
know they're
less.
getting good quality.
Yeah.
So you got to let them know that. Like, hey, we're not cutting corners here.
On that felt
You're
situation.
getting quality.
All I did, and whenever I started, I would just carry around one piece of synthetic felt. I didn't even get into the whole science of a synthetic felt. I just said, "Hey, I'll give you $100 if you can rip this."
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, whenever I tell customers that, they know.
Start biting.
Normally, they already know what felt is. They know the old paper felt. That old paper felt will get ripped real fast. It'll soak in water, whatever the case is. I'll say, "Hey, this is what we're using now. Look how great this is."
Yep.
I didn't understand that at all whenever I first started running around with you. I just thought you were nuts.
Yeah, it worked.
I was like,
It
"What
worked.
is this proving?"
Worked every time.
I've known Isaac for a long time, and I still think he's nuts.
and it
Oh.
works.
That is true.
I
That
keep
is
them
true.
all. I always
Hey,
keep them on
I
their
tried that
toes.
one time.
Yeah,
I
but-
tried that one time, and it ripped.
Did you really?
But here's the thing: there was
It's one that they've been gnawing on.
There was a small little slice,
Like where
that I
the
didn't
fibers
see.
had already
And I
been-
literally just cut it with scissors, and I was like, "Try ripping that." And they were like, and I was like,
Damn.
"I'll get you a new roll. I'll get you a new roll."
There goes that stuff.
Yeah,
Did you win
yeah.
that one? Do you know?
I
Do
ended
you
up winning,
remember?
yeah.
Okay, good.
But they laughed, and I was like, "Okay, that one was cut. Let me try another one," and they didn't rip it. So.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
But no, I was yet
That's
to lose
funny.
$100, and that was a lot of my biggest selling. That was on. I mean, Daniel, he was with me on a couple
Bro
of my
wants sales
first
on a
sales.
wager.
Huh?
I said, "Bro, one sells on a wager."
Well, I mean, whenever I first started, you stick to something that you know that makes sense.
Yeah.
Whenever you're a new salesman, you hold on to that because you've seen it already succeed for you already.
To this day, I do that. Like,
Yeah.
for example, you see synthetic, and you see a whole line item definition of it. I'm not gonna read the whole thing for them. Versus cap, starter, all that kind of stuff. So literally, I'll say, look at this whole estimate, focus on this price. I'll explain everything right now, and then I'll literally say, this is what you're gonna get. You're gonna get pipe boot flashing. You're gonna get X, Y, Z, and I explain everything instead of reading each line
Right.
because then it's like
You
you're,
throw out,
you're reading like an essay almost, and they're like,
It gets boring.
so
It
I'll
gets
tell them, you see that pipe? Okay, that pipe, we're gonna replace the boot.
Yeah.
You see that drip edge? Blah,
Every
blah,
time,
blah.
every time.
Just
Mike,
cut out all that wording.
I have a good
and
question.
Just give them a price. Yeah.
So, do you think it's better to throw the price first or pitch the product first?
Pitch the product first. Product always first. And the only reason why,
That was a
so
quick
back
answer
to
out of both of them.
no, and
No,
I'll-
yeah, I'm just curious.
whenever I started this product,
No,
basing-
no, actually, no. I take my answer back because I just
I mean,
did
it's
that
case by
last
case,
week.
I guess.
I just did it last week.
Yeah.
I said I went straight to the authorization page.
I always
I
do.
didn't even
I
go to
always-
the actual estimate. I went
Yeah,
to the
no.
authorization page and I said, look, you see these 3 prices? They're 3 different shingles. I'm gonna explain each one to you real quick. So then I went into this is what you're gonna get, showed them sample, and I was like, these are your warranties per shingle. So then I was like, does that price make sense for this one? They're like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, now this one is higher, but guess what? Now you get everything covered if there's a manufacturer defect, blah, blah, blah. Northgate, you get everything covered, same thing, blah, blah, blah. Went through my whole spiel. And I was like, but you also get a rubberized mat. And I was like, does that price make sense? And they're like, yeah, I get why it's more expensive now.
Yeah.
Then I said, now which one makes sense?
That's how we sell today. But back whenever I started, when we didn't have good, better, best, we just had one number,
Yeah.
Omni roll, and maybe an extended warranty. I don't remember. It's been. a
I don't
minute,
even
but-
think we had an
don't
extended
think
warranty.
that we-
but-
we
or
didn't
an-
have-
and
we
didn't
just
have
started
full
that last
warranty
year.
back
Okay,
then.
so there you go. So whenever I started selling, I would honestly just whenever I was giving the customer the number and going over the whole entire deal, I started to actually hand them products. Here's a sample of synthetic felt. Here's a sample of paper felt. Which one do you want on your house? Feel it, rip it, tear it. Feel, lick it if you want to. I don't give a crap, but just feel which one that you want to.
I don't know what kind of customers I have to go to.
He's out in Bollinger County.
yeah, there's some special people.
Look at, eat it, do whatever you want.
Is that salty?
But in reality, what you're holding the actual product in your hand, and you're feeling the difference in each product and the quality difference in both situations. To where, yes, you're exactly right, Isaac. I want this product because this product is showing me the exact same things that you're telling me. So it's just honestly a little
It's
bit
hard
of a
to
show
say.
and tell. A little bit also.
It's hard to say, and if I'm being honest, I think it depends on how you feel truly as a rep in that moment, because there's some people that you can just tell they're impatient.
Yeah,
And it's like, let me
that's a
explain
good
all
point. That's a
this
very good
stuff
point.
to you. And then in their head, because you got to think about it for the customer, they're probably like, I don't give a crap about all this stuff.
I've had a
How
lot
much
of
does
that.
this cost?
Yep.
So that's
Then the moment you say that, everything that you just explained is out the other ear.
Yep, quality doesn't matter at
Or
this point.
if you hit them with the price, now they have the price in their head and they're like, okay, let me see if this is worth it now. Then you have to sell your product at that point.
Yep.
Because if you're just selling your product and then you hit them with the price at the end of the day, they're like, that's not worth the price. I don't think so.
Yeah. My belief is doing a couple things before hitting with the price. I think that one, you should ask, and this is like a game changer type questions too, because we've closed some big deals asking this.
What are you looking for at a contract?
What are you looking for in a contractor? It throws clients off.
yes, you're
'Cause
exactly
they're
right.
like-
I've used that a couple times.
Because people don't ask that. They go and they're just like pitching and they're doing all this stuff. So you go there, find some common ground with them.
Yeah.
And say, hey, what are you looking for in a contractor? They're going to tell you what they want from you. And then you can base your whole pitch off of that.
Yeah.
And then another good question to ask ahead of time before you get into all of it. Man, what do you think a roof like this cost? Like, what do you think a roof goes for these days?
You're
A
way
shingle
off.
roof?
It's double.
Well, some clients,
Yeah.
I've had clients tell me like, oh, 15
I've gone
grand.
under.
The
Oh,
beauty
yeah,
is,
I hate.
I
going
love
up.
those.
the beauty is I'll have a quote there for 12 grand and they'll be like, oh yeah, 15, 18,000, like slam dunk. Like, cool, I'm at 12.
Yeah.
I'm at 12, we're golden.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes customers will shoot a little high just to mess with you a little bit. But that's a good thing to ask, because if they come and they tell you $4,000 and you're at 12, you have some ground to cover.
I say that every time a customer says, why should I choose you?"
Oh yeah, that's a tough.
That the
You got to reverse that, dude.
the why
should we choose you?
Why should I choose
we
you?
choose
Why should I install your
why should I choose your roofing company? Well, what are you looking for in a roofing company? What are
Yeah.
you looking for? Honestly, tell me exactly word for word what you are expecting out of this transaction.
That's a hard question for
'cause we'll put
customers
that
to
roof-
answer,
Yes.
but it really makes them think, and then you can feel, obviously we're doing all the right things. At least we believe we're doing everything right. So we know we can check those boxes.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just got to get out of the client what they really want,
Yeah.
and they'll tell you, and then you can be like, okay, well these are the things that we do that fill that need that you have. Like, obviously
Oh,
we're here to
yeah.
help, anyways.
Because some of them will say, for example, like it happened to me. I think once that I sold one, it was I asked them the same question. I was like, "Hey, what are you looking for in a contractor?" And they had told me, "Well, I want somebody who's honest."
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay, well," and I literally told them, I said, "If every contractor that comes over here and gives you a bid, because they had told me they're getting multiple estimates, I was like, they're gonna ask you the same question, and if you tell them I want honesty, they're gonna tell you, I'll be honest with you." And I was like, "Well, here's what I'll do differently." And if they do the same thing, that's a different story. But if they don't, at least I'm a little bit different.
Yeah.
And I'll
You
tell
should
them-
never say to
Yeah.
a client, let me be honest.
Yeah.
because psychologically, just from a psychological standpoint, you say, let me
That's
be
like,
honest.
that's
with
like
you.
Isaac.
Well, you got to be
God's
careful.
honest truth. It's
Yeah, so you have to be careful. So when you tell a client, let me be honest with you, psychologically in the back of their head, that client's thinking,
he's lying.
well, no.
No, actually, I think
maybe-
it's more towards the other way.
Maybe not. Maybe when you say that, let me be honest with you. They're thinking in the back of their head, like, okay, he's being honest with me
You just
now.
raise down your walls.
Well, I'm thinking.
your walls.
I'm thinking more like, if you tell a client, let me be honest, you're telling them subconsciously that, hey, maybe this guy's not always honest with people. Now, at this particular scenario, he's going to decide to be honest with me because I said I wanted honesty, but you're saying, let me be honest. So it's like, well, aren't you always honest? Aren't you here giving me the honest truth the whole time? Why do you need to let me be honest now? Like, shouldn't you have been doing that the whole time? So I think, and maybe I'm wrong there.
Just died. Cut you off.
That's so funny. You just got cut off.
Yeah,
Go ahead and reframe it towards him.
Yeah,
and
give me
close it
a
out.
quick.
Either way, no, we're good. I mean,
Hold on,
we've had a good episode.
That's so funny.
Yeah, no, very informative, and I think a lot of people are going to obtain some good information from this.
Just go
because they're gonna-
full angle view.
They're going to learn. They're going to learn how different roofing companies treat their customers.
Yeah.
And it's not all cookie cutter every single
That
situation.
is literally hilarious. I
was-
had the frame on
watched it?
you, and it automatically just blacked out. And I was like, boom, switch.
So
That's so funny.
before you close out, I know you're going to.
Yeah, we're closing up.
We'll close out in like.
I have.
Well, we have like 5 more minutes. Honestly, it still has halfway.
I have one.
Says.
I got one takeaway that I want both of you, and I've already mentioned this to you a couple times.
Okay.
This goes for the accountability thing. I feel like, and I read this book, and a guy when I was working out of state brought it up to me, and he's like, every man should read this book. Dead serious. If you all look up Extreme Ownership from, I cannot say the author's name. It's like
I'll tell you right now.
Jocko Willness, or I can't say his name. I know I just butchered that.
I'll tell you your name is right now.
But
keep going.
you can get it as
I'll cut in here
you can
a
get it as an audiobook. I want to challenge both of you guys to read that book. You can get it as an audiobook. So if you get it as an audiobook, actually listen to it. Like listen
What's it
word for
called?
word, Extreme Ownership.
Okay.
And it will I've read it once. Well, I read most of it and then I put it down and didn't read the final bit of it.
Come on.
Bro, read a quarter.
No, my wife can attest to it because I read it in bed and she
Jolie,
hates it.
fact check this.
Anyhow, so I started reading it, and I had to go back and start rereading it because I missed key parts of it. I was reading it too fast.
Yeah.
And
That's
it will,
my biggest issue on a lot.
It will. I'm dead serious when I say it will change your whole outlook on everything you. In this accountability conversation is the prime time to bring it up.
Yeah.
Like I want to challenge both of you guys to listen to it or read it before the end of this year, because I feel like it will make your guys' next year that much more profitable if you actually retain it and change by reading it.
Yeah.
Daniel just said Elon Musk threw a brick at a Cybertruck window. It broke the window. And guess what? Cybertruck sales are still high.
We should go to a roof,
What?
tear off the shingles.
No, that's what
Go to one of our installs.
I guess I didn't hear about that.
Whenever the
They
Cybertruck
were
got
doing a
really
presentation.
announced, it wasn't a brick. It was a sphere.
It was a baseball.
Yeah, it was something like
It was
that.
literally a baseball.
He threw it out the window because the windows were supposed to be a certain kind of grade.
No, it was like some sort of steel.
Yeah, it was a cylinder. it-
Heavy ball.
But the idea is
A
they're
ball
supposed to be
bearing,
golden.
basically.
Yeah,
Yes.
a big bearing, ball bearing.
Okay.
He threw it out the window because the glass, they say it's a certain kind of grade or whatever.
like bulletproof.
Anyways, during the whole entire presentation, you know how Apple does their presentations
Yeah.
whenever a new iPhone comes
Yeah.
out. Same situation. A lot of people were out there,
Oh.
and it completely shattered.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Oh, yeah,
that's
no, no, no.
funny.
That was this
Oh,
was this
okay.
was a good long while. But go ahead.
Yeah. So I think that scenario there ties into everything we're talking about. So in that scenario, Elon, they didn't go and make a million excuses.
No, they just said, "Hey,
He took accountability for that and said, "Hey, we failed just now." He failed live in front of everyone.
everyone."
He failed and said, "Hey, we failed here today. We're gonna fix it."
Yep.
So that's simple. Some people
I love this.
and some people will get in front of you and make a million excuses and try to fluff and say this happened because of this and this and this and this. What you got to do is take accountability. Say, "Hey, I failed.
And
That
it-
reminds me of that.
I'm
No,
gonna
that
fix it."
Don't
Back to the
don't-
back to
don't
the
love your job your love. I
Bro.
love that.
back to
What is
back-
the other one? Don't finger or
What?
Shut up. We're gonna have to cut all this out. But back to
don't
whatever you
crack
just
your
said.
fingers.
Finger your crack.
I'm sorry, Chad. Anyways, listen. No, back to what you just
He's
said.
the owner of Daniels Roofing.
What you just said. This goes back to what I always tell customers. back to no. In all seriousness, back to real note here, and then we'll go ahead and close out. A customer, they ask you what sets you apart from different roofing companies. I always say, roofing companies are going to sit here and promise you this, that, and this, and that. Judge that roofing company on their flaws. Go to what
Girls pulling a wolf on Wall Street.
I don't care, bro. It works, and I've used it very.
Judge me
very-
on my failures because
I-
they're so little.
I mean, that's fine, whatever you want to say, but it's the reality of it. I tell all of my customers, listen, just go back to see if you can find somebody that has something small bad to say about Daniels Roofing, whatever the case is. They had a problem. What did that roofing company do to fix that issue that you had?
Yeah.
And I really do. I will. In some scenarios where I make Zane mad because sometimes I'm over promising, but that's how much faith I have in Daniels Roofing to fix the issue, to where you can judge me on the issues whenever a problem has happened. What did we do about that problem? Because that
I got a good example that just happened. Actually.
yeah, go ahead, spit
Yeah.
it
So
out.
so we did a roof. Oh man, it's probably been 3 years ago we did this roof, and at the time, it. Essentially, what we did was like a 212 roof, or maybe a 112.
No, it's 212.
Okay, so
It did measure out 212.
Regardless,
So we did a 212 roof, and what that means is it's the slope of the roof.
Very
So
low
for the
slope.
people at home, 212 means it's pretty much a flat roof.
Yeah.
For everybody who wants the true definition, it drops 2 inches every 12 inches it goes out. That's what that stands
So
for.
this is where we're oversharing. So
Yeah, so the customers are no
Oh, shit.
longer interested. They tuned out of the live.
Yeah.
yeah. So we had a roof. We did the entire roof. The whole thing was a 212. We put shingles on it. Well, for shingles, you can't install below a 412, right?
Anything.
Technically, you
212
can do it-
Technically,
212 ice
212
and
and
water.
below.
Technically, yeah. So this roof was like, honestly, it was like a 1.5.
Yeah.
It was basically flat. So, anyways, we did this roof. It was pretty much flat. We put shingles on it. So Daniels Roofing put shingles on this roof. Should never
Shouldn't
have
have.
gotten shingles.
when did this happen?
3 years ago.
Okay.
Well, it was
Bro was about
honestly-
to blame Zane.
No.
No.
This
I
is-
was
this-
about to say
This is an accountability session.
before we started
This is-
being accountable. Yes.
Nope. This is when I first bought in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So I was new.
I know what he's talking about. That's
I was new. We were doing things. We thought we were doing it right. The crews are all. This is what the client wanted, right? They wanted shingles.
Yeah.
So guess what we gave them? We gave them shingles.
Yep.
This goes back to where the clients aren't always right.
Mm-hmm.
Now you know, hey, I don't care what the client wants. We're not putting shingles on a 112 roof. It won't happen. We will walk away from that job before we do
Yes.
it. Regardless of all of that, you have to be accountable, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we put shingles on a 1.5 pitch, a flat roof that
3,
should have
4
never
years ago.
gotten shingles. Roof leaks, obviously.
Yeah.
The roof's leaking.
It's bound to, yeah.
So what are we doing about it, Zane?
We go rip shingles off and put 2-part back on it.
So
Because
that's what we
that's
did.
what we. Because
It's
that's
a
what we
3-year-old
learned.
roof that we got paid for. Now we're going to spend more money than we made.
What did we charge the customer to fix that problem?
$0.
That's what I'm.
So I got this lady on the phone. I looked at all the facts. Now, obviously, we're not just going to jump into anything.
Right.
Yeah.
We look at the facts. So we sent some people down, did an inspection. Hey, why did we put shingles on this roof? Well, the client wanted it. Even though the client wanted it, it's not something like I remember the job at the time. We didn't educate.
Yeah.
We didn't tell the client, no, we're not going to do this, or no, this is what you need.
We were just trying to make everybody happy.
We
at
just
that
did what they wanted.
Yep.
So we didn't do our part. So now what we're doing is we're taking that roof off, or we may have already done it. Did we do it yet?
Yeah, we already did it.
Okay,
It's
so
done.
we've already rectified the. Within like a week of me figuring out what the actual problem was, we're like, hey, we're gonna just do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We took the shingles off at our cost, fixed probably whatever wood was wrong, and put the low slope, the proper
The
roofing
proper
material on it.
system on. Yeah.
No cost to the client. And guess what? We have a happy client. We lost money.
I bet she is very happy.
Yeah. So
hope.
that's
She's super.
that's a prime example of taking accountability. I'm sure I lost several $1,000s on that deal. Even
Yeah,
after
you did. I added it up.
I don't even want to know. Honestly, it's better not to know. I don't know how much money I lost, but that's the part where
Doesn't
it's saying,
matter. It doesn't
hey,
matter.
I failed, and I got the customer on the phone myself as the owner. I said, hey, I didn't leave this on Zane's plate. I talked to her myself. I was like,
remember.
hey,
I watched.
here's what happened. We put the wrong roofing material on. This should have never been on your roof. We're gonna do this at our cost. We're gonna come do it right, and then you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
She's like, hey, great. She was happy.
Yeah.
Even though she's had a leak that never should have happened, on the back end, we still have a happy customer. And aside
She's
from
still going to refer people to us because we
we did the right
what
thing.
we needed to do.
Yeah.
And it's not even about referrals. It's
Oh.
about literally just having
I have-
integrity and owning your mistakes and doing the right thing.
I have the one from yesterday that I got a good review from. She's like, I called y'all because I know y'all are good. And she's like, and actually, which I'm not gonna say names of anybody, but it's just funny. She's like, actually, I referred y'all to my friend down south. And she calls me and says, the guy fell through my roof. And she was like, don't worry, Daniel's Roofing's going to fix it. And obviously we fixed it. But
Yeah.
it was just funny because like stuff like that accidentally happens sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, we'll make it right.
I hate those phone calls.
Yeah.
As
well,
a production manager, the worst 2 phone calls are, hey, there was a slight accident. They were trying to step on the rafter and they stepped through the drywall.
that actually
That's
happened to
number
me
one.
last month,
That's number 1. Number 2
but
is
I caught myself.
yeah. Number 1 is definitely stepping through drywall. That's always horrible. Number 2 is that conversation where you're like, hey, there's a bunch of bad decking. Because even though we obviously get paid for it, I don't want to change out decking.
Yeah.
I wish every house we tore off had 0 decking.
Oh, yeah.
Because then it's 0 money out of
Yeah,
everybody's
you don't
pockets.
we don't make money when it comes to bad wood. And then also, even if the client's prep for it, it's still
not a fun conversation.
yeah.
mean,
when you
no-
got to go
no
to
one
someone and
wants
say,
to
"Hey, I
hear
need
that.
another $2,500."
Yeah.
If I put myself in that client's shoes, I'm not
You're gonna
happy.
be mad.
I don't
You're gonna be
care. I
like,
don't
why didn't you
care
tell
if
me this
it's-
before?
I'm not happy.
As a homeowner, I'm expecting you to know all these things before I
Yeah.
give you any money.
Oh yeah,
But it's your.
That's what it comes
It's
down-
also.
that's also where it comes down to
It's
educating.
also your job to explain these situations
educate,
to me.
communicate.
Plan ahead. Fair warn me just in case you do this more than I do. What's the worst case? What's the worst case?
I
That's
don't
gonna
care
happen?
if it's
Yeah.
$80, $800,
about, like,
or
3 minutes.
$2,500
I'll
for
do
a
it. We gotta
full
start wrapping
deal.
up.
Yeah, so I think
I don't like charging it.
you know, obviously we kind of just jumped on today
But
'cause
regardless, the whole moral of that whole entire section, I don't care, is that
You know what?
base your roofing company choice on what they are going to do about problems that they have had, because every roofing company is going to have an issue. I don't care. Nobody's perfect. As much as I would love to sit here and tell you guys that our guys are the perfect workers, nothing ever happens. No, it's a roofing. It's a roofing company. It's a roofing job. It's a very messy process. Things may happen and they may not. Regardless, the issues that apply that may arise. How did they handle these issues?
Yeah, and another thing is, you know, people that are for the homeowner out there that's going with they're getting 5 bids and picking the cheapest.
Mm-hmm.
You know what happens when you pick that cheapest bid?
They have no
have
reassurance
it-
and security.
When you have an issue like we did, where you have to go replace a whole roof
They don't have
at
the
your
money for
cost,
it.
they don't have the money.
No, because they weren't planning for this.
They don't have the workers' comp. They're not surviving that.
Yeah.
They don't have the money to go back and make things right. So you know what they do? They make excuses. So the reality of it is sometimes you get what you pay for.
You do.
So and
I
that's
tell that a- I
that's
say
the
that a
brutal
lot.
honest. We run low margins anyways. It's not like we don't make a killing on any job, any
Yeah.
particular job. Every once in a while we'll get a little bone.
Yeah.
It'll be like, sweet, this was an insurance job, everything went great, we made some good money. But then you have the other ones. You have the ones like down there where we go negative 3,000 or 4,000 because we're doing the right thing as a company.
Yep.
So cautionary tale: don't choose the cheapest roofer. There's probably a reason they're the cheapest roofer, and that goes beyond roofing.
That's a very good point.
I do the same thing as a consumer. When someone's coming out and giving me quotes for my pool or my lawn or anything,
His
if
bids
some
are
guy
high.
comes and said, "Hey, I can mow your lawn for $20," I'm like, "Bro, this lawn's gonna take you 4 hours to mow. If you can do it for $20, we have a problem."
I'd almost feel bad paying $20.
I wouldn't.
Well, that
but I
means
don't
you're
care
not
about
getting
my lawn.
quality. So
He's gonna
as-
get a horse. Just
I was
start
about to
eating
say, I
your
have
grass.
goats for a reason.
But on that note,
So that's just a good testament. Sometimes you genuinely get what you pay for.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's companies. We work with a close company that was, and I won't say any names, but we were working for a subcontract, or we were a sub at one point for a company, and we would do labor and materials. And let's say the roof cost 10 grand. That company was charging 40.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying you don't. Sometimes you can overpay for sure. Because what quality are they getting there? Nothing extra beyond just overpaying for a roof. And obviously, we sever those ties because it's not ethical. But with that being said, when you do your due diligence as a homeowner, make sure you're not just looking at the number. See what you're getting.
Do your
look at the
research.
reputation. Look at the reviews. If your company has 2 reviews on Google,
there's an issue.
you know, maybe they're new or whatever, but tread lightly.
Yeah.
You know, because whenever that roof leaks and you have a $10,000 problem, is that company going to be able to back it up?
Yep.
So-
Exactly.
Yep.
That's the deal. And when you go after insurance, they might not even have insurance at that time. So
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
don't bank on that either. So anyways, that's my TED talk.
I think we.
But anyways, let's kind of wrap it up here. Obviously today was kind of a filler because we had a guest kind of had some things come up and they backed out on us. Anyway, so we have next week. We have another guest coming on by the name of Mr. Tyler Kimbrell. He's with Auto Diesel. Do you guys know Tyler Kimbrell?
Yeah, I bought
Diesel.
I bought a truck frame from him.
I got a diesel.
Cool. Yeah. So Tyler, I've seen him on
Profile
Facebook.
on Diesel.
Doing
Oh,
some
we all got
things, so-
diesels, so
Yeah.
Tyler's a cool guy.
Yeah, and
It'll
I think
be really
I think it'll be
interesting to
good
see his
for
business model compared to ours.
And I think it'll be good for the people in the trades because obviously a lot of people that are doing construction or doing, home care businesses, a lot of us drive diesels.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, when you're working and you're putting lots of miles on, you have issues.
Literally every single one of us drives a diesel right now.
No, I got a Blazer.
Well, you and Isaac.
Yeah. Speaking of Blazers, we had a podcast
Right
ready.
Isaac's driving to F150.
I'm driving the company truck right now. Mine's in the shop.
Reason number 45 not to buy a Chevy.
my
Just saying.
God.
Oh, okay, hold up.
Whoa.
Watch
Go,
it.
go, go, go.
But anyways, Mr. Tyler Kimball with Auto Diesel, we're looking forward to that episode next week.
Straight up.
Um,
Sure.
for the folks tuning into Facebook Live, I want
We
to say
appreciate you guys.
thank you.
Straight ahead.
Thank you guys. This episode was all about some accountability, the hard truths about roofing. Obviously, we face a lot of things day to day, so it's a crazy industry that we're in.
Yep.
But obviously, we're going to continue to try to push our reps to do better. Isaac, we're going to do 3 million next year, not 2. We're trying to. We got to set higher targets. You've made it to your goal.
You
Now
better
let's-
give me a company truck. So I don't have to
Ashley
worry
said,
about
keep
mine,
up the
dude.
work, the great work, fellas.
Yes, so we're going to
We'll get you
continue.
a pizza party.
Regardless of how well we do, I don't care if we're doing 100 million a year. You're going to have me at the top of the pile saying, "Hey, let's do better."
Why not?
And
200?
and for the people at home, that's what the company that you should want to hire.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You want the people trying to do more, not the people that just want.
Trying to do better every single time.
Yeah.
And
You
make
don't-
every single interaction better.
We won't be complacent around here. We're going to keep pushing, and we're going to keep trying to do good quality work. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Welcome back to. We'll see you next
back.
week. We'll see you next week for another episode of Roof Talk. And make sure to like and subscribe. Our main channel is Beyond the Blueprint.
Yep.
So like and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Thanks, guys.